All right. Previously on Tales of Ashion, our heroes of the Foo Fighters took a job from a merchant named Alar Whisperwind, a local merchant in Tarditi, and frequent of the Gilded Stag Inn. The job to prevent anyone from stealing anything from Whisperwind's villa estate. Well, the job seemed simple. It was anything but. Whisperwind met with our heroes, giving them a tour of his estate and demonstrating the impressive security system he had installed by a member of the Red Hill Shipping Company. From traps in the ceilings, to magical ceiling doors, to even animated shells and statues that would come to his vault's defense should any need arise. While impressed, the Foo Fighters suspected there were some potential holes in the security that they could not quite put their fingers on. Still, the job must proceed. With the layout learned, our heroes set themselves up in positions to observe the only entrance to the underground vault and waited. Hours of boredom passed until finally, 5 figures cloaked in shadows arrived and started searching. As they searched, our heroes engaged in them in an effort to stop the intruders from going further. Fighting erupted with a mix of unique spells and abilities from the thieves. Things quickly moved down into the vault itself. When it seemed events were turning in the favor of the Foo Fighters, the thieves managed to escape, if just barely, into a secret room. One Camilla had spotted the door for earlier. Dashing to catch them, our heroes triggered one of the traps, stealing them away from the thieves. Branch stepped into the ethereal plane, pushed through the walls and into the hidden room to confront the thieves on his own. Unsure what to do, Camilla, Palamides, and Arnok used the gas from one of the traps, along with Severin, to create an explosion that destroyed a section of the wall and a large portion of the villa above. While the blast killed one of the thieves, it still left Branch by himself. Thankfully, despite the odds, he survived, though at the cost of at least one of the thieves, revealed to be the cultist, fleeing with a large portion of the merchant's gold. While the situation was unfortunate, it wasn't without its successes. Most of the valuables remained, and the recovery of at least 2 coins were completed, allowing both the wizard from the Red Hill Shipping Company to investigate it, but also for the Foo Fighters to have something to go on. There is one thing that is certain. There is more going on here than just Allura's quest for riches. All right, so you guys have been told by Whisperwind that he has the opportunity to introduce you to a local, like a local lord, that can potentially give you guys some more information and help you guys maybe find what to do next. He might have more information about other robberies in the area with the merchants, etc. Garzak, the wizard from the Red Hill Shipping Company, has taken one of the coins, to investigate further on his end. But he has given another coin to you, for which you can do whatever you wish. It is about like 4 in the morning at this point. But Whisperwind has been like, hey, go back to the inn, rest, and then I will come by and see you guys later, if you wish. Which I believe you guys said you would, and he sent you on your way. So, what do you guys want to do or talk about? The game is yours.
I want to show Branch our sick suite.
Uh, Guys, that explosion was kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie, I was not expecting that at all. I don't know where it came from. I don't know how it happened, but
That's crazy, man.
Yeah,
I
I
like it just it knocked me. It knocked the wind out of me. I'll be honest.
last thing I remember was Severin just being like, "Hey guys, watch this."
Oh, I should have known. I should have known that little rascal.
Yeah, Camilla was trying to hold him back, and then he just flew
He just
forward into
Flew away.
the broken gas pipes.
He always wonders why I bully him. Oh, that little shithead.
You are so lucky he's in the back of holding right now.
Am I
Is it, like,
lucky or is he
holding it
lucky?
shut?
Yeah,
He's
Camilla
trying to get out.
wrestling the bag.
Bag's rustling. You hear this faraway distance. I hear you guys.
Oh.
Yeah, I could go for a solid cat nap right now.
Oh, you're gonna love the sweet man.
Maybe some cat REM.
Mm. Yeah. All right. Well, you guys just gonna head back to the inn then?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
assume
Oh, yeah.
looking, at least Branch looking fairly exploded.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think all of you took some damage at the very least.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I was getting
if not,
mauled out here.
you're a little tired. Camilla, you're feeling a little lucky. Not sure why, but you got this spring to your step. It's kind of like, hey, this is kind of interesting. But without any problems, you make it back to the Gilded Stag. They kind of look at you because you're covered in dust and debris and blood, and there's kind of like one of them raises an eyebrow. It's the night watchman, and he just kind of raises an eyebrow at you, and you almost get the impression like he's going to stop you from coming in. And then you guys kind of just hold up your key, and he just kind of backs away and seems confused, but doesn't stop you. But yeah, you go up to the room. Calamities, do you want to describe this for Branch for the first time, since Branch has technically never he's
Absolutely.
been here, but he hasn't been here.
I'm gonna guide him around the room. I'm gonna be like, all right, Branch, check this shit out. I'm gonna go over to the fireplace. I'm gonna speak the command word.
Boom! Lights on fire.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. And watch this. I'm gonna take out, like a copper piece or whatever, a handful of some bullshit, and drop it into the chamber pot.
If you put any coins in there, it doesn't go away. But
Dang it.
anything else,
All right.
it's
All right,
like
the
Drop
coin
an
doesn't
egg
work,
in.
so I'm gonna be like, okay, well that didn't work. Branch, hit me an egg.
I'm gonna need that change that you just put in there. If
you
you're
can reach in and grab it. It's not going to affect you.
That's
okay,
fine.
I take the change and then I give him the egg.
All right, I'm gonna like drop the egg in rough enough that it would like break apart and make a mess.
Okay. You see it goes shatters inside, and you're like, Branch, you kind of lean over and you're like, okay, what is the big deal? And then there's this kind of shimmering, and the egg disappears.
You
Yeah,
just wasted one of my eggs.
maybe like 270.
I thought you were gonna eat that.
I mean, it came out the same way as if I would have. Yeah.
I'm patient. You could have just ate it, and then you could have just came back here a couple hours later.
I'm not gonna ask you to look at my ship, Branch.
Yeah, you're
It
both
wouldn't be
cats.
there
It's like the
after you took
last
the
thing you
shit.
want.
Yeah. I was like, that would just be rude.
You watch me go to the bathroom. That's what he's gonna do.
Exactly. My point stands.
Mm.
Cool magic chamber pot thing.
You
Okay,
guys have a copper bathtub too.
I was like, you ready for the coolest part, Branch? You ready for this?
Oh, that wasn't the coolest part already.
I'm gonna walk him over to the copper bathtub. I'll be like, now, Branch, we're pretty high up here, pretty far away from water, right?
Yeah.
You gotta imagine it must be a real pain in the ass to get this tub filled, right? Maybe you call in some poor servant and does it for you.
I mean, I had a dream the other night about like these pipes underground and irrigation system. It was crazy, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, I don't think these pipes go underground. That sounds a little far fetched. But and then I'm just gonna turn on the bath.
And it starts to fill with warm water. Yeah, it's got two nozzles. Of course, you can change it. Or so it's in
Right,
three.
yeah.
So there's cold and hot, and then there's like a
For
soap
sure, the
water.
warm water for demonstration purposes. Just like that.
I'm gonna need you to leave the room, Calamities.
I'm going
He's
to
gonna take a bath.
Bow
I'm about,
shallowly and walk away.
I'm about to uh I can't clean every part of myself by myself. I need to employ the services of a bathtub every now and then.
You can certainly take a bath. Yeah. So Branch, so additional like size wise, so there's like a waiting room, and then there's like bedrooms and servant rooms. Like this is like a presidential suite kind of size for you guys. There are some bells as well up by the door, and in the bedrooms where you can ring the bell and they'll do a service. Come and see what you need.
I
Magical
need
fireplace. You can get all 4-post beds. Like these are huge, comfortable beds. Like we're talking like down feather, comfortable beds. Like this is the high end stuff.
oh gosh, I never want to leave. Room order eggs.
Jesus.
They will happily bring you whatever food you want. It is expensive.
What about
Like,
just raw eggs?
so price wise, just so, Branch, so you're aware, it's like they were downstairs when I first looking at getting drinks. The
Oh,
cheapest
yeah.
drink starts at like 10 gold.
Okay. I'll have some egg tartare.
You gonna make that yourself or ask the chef to cook you some?
Um, I think I say this out loud. Make some egg tartare. And I just take some eggs out of my bag of holding and then just crack them into my mouth.
Okay. There you go.
Oh.
Egg tartare right there. So how Branch, how long are you gonna take a bath?
Uh, I think I might fall asleep in the bath, to be honest.
Okay.
Maybe like a couple hours. Sorry if anyone else had any plans on bathing. It's just those are rough time back there. I almost exploded to death because of Severin.
He's like, it wasn't my fault.
Yeah, Severin, save it for the judge. The fantasy judge.
Severin's gonna, start playing tricks on you or something like that. He's gonna start using spells or something crazy. All right. So after a couple hours, yeah, you're like the rest of you guys kind of like your rooms do have like pots to like cleaning basins, so you can clean yourselves. There aren't any. It's not like you have a wash basin, is what it's called. But you do have pitchers of water. But there are small faucets that will give you warm water, so you can fill the wash basin. It's not like a sink or anything. It's not quite that style. They haven't quite figured that part out.
That does require drainage.
It does. So you can fill it, wash yourselves off a little bit. If you guys want to have your clothes cleaned, that's something that can certainly be done. It is like 4 o'clock in the morning. But otherwise, you can all take a long rest. I'm sure after an hour or so, you guys are like, "Where the fuck is Branch?" And you just hear him snoring in the bathtub, and you're like, "Okay." But yeah, everyone can go ahead and mark off a long rest.
Yeah.
Woohoo. Yay.
All right. So what do you guys want to do now?
I
Go
mean,
find another house to blow up.
I feel like I'm just gonna wait on this guy who's gonna meet us. Yeah, Whisperwind.
Yeah,
He said he was gonna
Whisperwind.
hook us up.
Yeah. So I mean, you told him that he can meet you at the inn, and you guys have a room here.
Oh yeah, we need to get paid.
I don't remember him saying he was going to pay you.
Oh, that's right.
I think this is the payment.
Yeah, I think this was the payment. It was like, hey, I will get you guys.
Right.
I owe you a favor, I think is what it was.
Yeah, I think that was it. It was a favor.
Butter
He's
Yeah.
doing us a solid. He
Yeah,
probably
Logan's been no.
probably
Logan's been-
slightly less solid now that we blew up half his house. But
Yeah, well.
Well,
You
we
guys
saved
keep
like
saying it was
most of
you
his
that blew up the
fortune.
house. If you keep saying that, he might actually overhear you say that.
Okay,
It's in
Severn blew up
or
the
that's
house.
out of character.
Yeah, I thought Seven blew up the house, guys.
No,
What
the
are you guys
bandits
talking
blew up the
about?
house.
Severn's
Because we don't want
technically
to get
not
Severn in
alive,
trouble.
so he can't take responsibility for these things. He's like a
Exactly.
child in that sense.
We've just been telling him the
Yeah.
bandits blew up the house branch because we didn't want Severn to get in trouble.
They will straight up kill Severn
Uh,
again.
Yeah, it's also hard to explain a floating skull. So
if
Indeed.
they're gonna kill Seven, they have to kill me first.
well, that's why we told them it was the bandits, and they just kind of believed us.
Fair enough.
All right, so we'll say it's around noon. You guys have received breakfast, or say lunch, or a nice brunch,
Yes.
kind of
Oh,
mimosas and
beautiful.
nursing your wounds. So unless you did magical healing, any kind of wounds you have sustained are still present. They're just bandaged to cover up. You feel bruised and battered, Branch, after having half of the building fall on you and getting the shit kicked out of you. But it's not going to affect you long term. And so you guys are, let's say you guys are sitting around enjoying a nice, meal in front of you, everything and anything you can think of. I
Yeah.
will say the meal is going to cost you guys about 15 gold. So if you guys want to
No,
spread that
No.
out amongst yourselves, however you want to.
What do you
I'm being
mean no?
dramatic.
Oh, okay.
They better had
Fortune.
giant Aurora eggs for me to eat then.
And they will have almost anything you want. This is where the wealthy stay. Like, this is 100 gold a night. They will,
100 gold a night.
It is
100
100
gold
gold
a
a
night.
night.
Oh,
I was the one who sprung for it initially. I thought you'd appreciate it.
yeah, I do. Thank you. This is nice.
I mean, the innkeeper Branch the first time he was like, "I don't think you can afford this place."
Oh, hell no.
And
Exactly.
then
I was just like, okay,
Flanders
I'm
was
pretty
like, "Well,
sure
how
I
much is the
can.
most
Like, how much?
expensive place?" it escalated quickly. It went from like 1 to an 11 very quickly.
And he was like, I don't think you can afford anything here. And I was like, give me your most expensive room, bitch.
Yep. Here it is, money up front. Okay.
I was
You,
like, all right, boom.
you got it. It's your room. So you guys, while you guys are eating, enjoying your meal, kind of relaxing, nursing your wounds, you hear a soft tap at the door. We'll say you guys are all in the kind of the outer waiting room, entry room, for it. But you do hear a knock at the door.
Heck yeah.
Who's
I
there?
guess I will.
It's me,
What's the
Whisperwind.
password?
I'm just gonna open the door.
He looks confused when he says, when you hear his Branch go, "What's the password?" He goes, "Huh?" And then you open the door. You just can't see this confused man. But he
It's
goes,
abyssal chicken.
I'm just gonna be like, wow, you got it right. The password was huh.
"Huh? Oh, okay, very good, very good." Well, I'm stopping by as I mentioned I would. I hope you all are rested and feeling better.
I'm ready for
Oh yeah, I'm ready to get
some
blown
more
up
rough
again.
nights bandit stopping. Hopefully with no
Uh,
more
I-
explosions.
I hope there are no more explosions. My villa will appreciate it, and I'm sure many others will as well. I'm already having to deal with the civil guard on trying to explain what happened. They were less than enthusiastic, needless to say, about the situation. But it is what it is. I paid for security, and, well, apparently it was not as smart of an investment as I hoped it would be. Well, live and learn, I suppose. Well, I mentioned that I would have a point of contact for you, and I do. I was able to set up a meeting with, what's his name? Oh my gosh. With, he says the name is, he's Lord Kurfron. Kurfron? Yeah, Kurfron.
Okay.
Vigilhand. It's Kurfran. Vigilhand. He's basically, Whisperwind explains that he's a minor lord overall in the empire, but he is the second person in charge next to the governor of the town, of the city. So he's pretty high up. But he says that he has been able to set up an appointment for this afternoon for you guys to meet with him and to discuss the recent events.
Something smells fishy. They're gonna blame it on us, guys. I feel it.
You hear a voice from the bag. Maybe it's the fish in front of you, Branch.
It's a figure of speech, Severin. Don't make me use you as a torch again.
Oh, I'm gonna refrain from further comments. Whisperwind is here. So, do you guys have any questions for Whisperwind about the Lord Vigilhand, or any thoughts, like other than saying it smells fishy?
I don't think I have much more for Whispering. No.
No.
Does he want some eggs?
No, thank you. I had a very, very big meal this morning. Thank you.
Oh no, I insist. It's from an abyssal chicken.
You have no idea what an abyssal chicken is, okay? Your character has no clue.
He had a dream about it.
The dream about it. The dream of the chickens from the nine hells of the abyss.
He's not referencing a real creature. He's referencing his dream creature.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's something he saw in the planar.
Okay.
Or the ethereal realm.
Ethereal realm. Whisperwind just thinks you're crazy when you keep mentioning this chicken.
That's so funny. It's so valid.
He just is very confused. All right. Well, if you guys don't have any questions for him, he will mention that kind of looking you all up and down, like Whisperwind is well aware of, and by your attitudes and your actions, that go for it too. That none of you come from money, so you may not be aware of the decorum and kind of the attitude and respect you're supposed to give a lord of any kind. For your part, for the rest of you guys, all you know of lords is that they collect taxes, have a shit ton of money, and tend to turn their nose up at everyone else. A minor lord, however, is going to have a lot of power, but it's going to be very local power. So he probably has power over everything in Tarditi and maybe the surrounding area, but that's the sphere of his influence. He's not a major lord or even a merchant lord. The merchant lords are in Ebenstall. They run the city and the region, so they are very powerful. But Whisperwind tells you to be cautious, that Vigilhand is not one to trifle with and doesn't tend to really appreciate those beneath his station, beneath him, talking out of turn for it. So it's just a word of caution. All right, unless you guys have any other questions, concerns, we'll move time forward.
Woo!
And time lapse. You know that cool little time lapse they show in movies for travel montage. It's just you traveling across town. Although I will say this time you guys get a carriage. I will say Whisperwind pays for it. He insists that you take a carriage with him. One thing that also is that you are asked to not bring any of your weapons with you.
Guys, I'm sorry, I can't go.
Why not?
These claws are considered a weapon.
Whisperwind just rolls his eyes at you.
It's okay. My claws do. Wait, actually, they do. Oh, shit.
Your claws are part of your body, and they will be fine.
So they're not going to declaws?
No, I'm not. He's not going to declaw you.
Oh, thank God.
No. No, so you can't bring like your bow, swords, knives, So any physical weapons like that you cannot bring with you. But you can wear your armor, all that stuff. Bring your bags of holding. If you want to put your equipment in your bags of holding, that's fine. We'll just say for the time being that that's where they are, unless you say otherwise. So you don't have to unequip them or anything like that.
Heck yeah.
Okay. With that in mind, you guys get into the carriages. You take feels like a short trip. It's maybe about 10, 15 minutes from where you guys left, from what you left your inn. They are velveted cushioned. They've got curtains over the windows. There's how was it? Can't remember the guy that drives the wagon that drives the carriage. The name of him, whatever the title is for that person. But yeah, so there's a footman that actually opens the door for you guys for the carriage too. You guys get out, and you guys arrive at nothing short of a mansion. This is like you guys took the carriages. You just kind of peek out the windows through a set of gates across maybe 200 feet of open lawn and hedges, and pull up in front of this mansion. It's easily the biggest building in the city, outside of any kind of government official building. It is 4 stories tall, and you estimate that there's probably a good 30 to 40 rooms here, easily. But the door opens with a footman. He's dressed in his suit. He bows to you as you all kind of shuffle out and onto the paved road. And about 20 feet in front of you is a set of large double doors up a set of steps. Whisperwind's with you guys too. So.
Oh heck, yeah, we have our escort.
It's like a giant fancy door knocker.
There is, yes. It's got a lion head door knocker.
Oh boy.
Heck yeah, I'm gonna jump up and try and use it.
Okay.
I'll probably just end up hanging from it though.
Go ahead and we'll make an acrobatics check for you to jump up there and try and knock on it.
Oh god.
14.
Okay. That is high enough.
Woo.
You have a plus like what, 10 or
8.
something like
It's a
that?
plus 8. And with us it being 18 because of reliable talent, so it doesn't that's fine.
18. Plenty high. You go up and you're like, you see it and you run to it, and Whisperwind's like, perhaps, and he just kind of gives up for a moment as you jump onto the door, and you're a foot and a half off the ground at this point. And you just kind of lift, boom, boom, and 3 times knock into it, and then you kind of just jump down, feeling very satisfied.
Jesus.
Now I'm gonna try and stand as fancily as possible.
And have like your fists pressed into your sides.
Okay, I mean, if you want to do that, I will say make a charisma roll, just a straight charisma roll.
Try and look as pompous as possible. Oh my god, 23.
23.
Oh my
Holy
god.
shit. You look about as pompous as and important as can possibly be. You standing there in front of the door with everyone behind you. You have your head up, proud, confident, and the door opens and you see that there's a tiefling on the other side dressed in a tux. He looks around at everyone else, then looks at you and he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, I missed you. Please come in." And he completely ignores everyone else. He thinks you are the woman in charge. Based on bearing alone.
That's okay.
Okay. So everyone else is going to just follow in behind?
Yeah, I'm going to have Whisperwind lead.
Okay. Well, so Whisperwind kind of looks at the situation and motions for you to lead because clearly the servant here thinks that you are in charge.
Oh boy, isn't he going to be surprised?
We have an appointment with Lord Vigilhand.
Very good, ma'am. And he motions. He goes, "Please follow me." And he just starts turning, walks in. So it's an entry room. It's probably about 30 by 30. It's just huge, gaudy. There is like pedestals with statues and busts on them. You walk into the grand foyer, and it's this huge, like 50 by 50 room, or like crystal chandeliers, lamps everywhere, golden filigree. There's banisters that are made out of this fancy stone marble with like platinum inlay. Your eyes are just like, oh, money everywhere. Like you just want to run around and just start chiseling things out of the walls. Which the walls are mahogany wood, polished, it's like shiny. It's the typical mansion stereotypical look like that. There's a rug on the floor that you walk on that's super soft. This guy has money. He is very wealthy, very powerful. But the butler, we'll say he is, kind of leads you off through several different rooms. You see other servants kind of rushing around doing work, cleaning, dusting, all that kind of stuff. And he brings you to it'll be what's called the smoking room. So it's just kind of a lounge like area. And he knocks on the door and he says, "One moment, miss." Knocks. And then after a few seconds, he steps in. And you hear this deep, like almost gravelly voice on the other side that's muffled. So if you want to try and listen in, Camilla, I will let you do that.
Absolutely.
Okay, make a perception check.
18.
18. Okay, you kind of lean in, and there's a keyhole there, so you kind of peer in a little bit, and you see, just as the butler shuts the door and kind of moves off to the side, he does a very deep bow, but you can see that the person he's bowing to is a minotaur. He's probably about 7 feet tall. He's got his hands pulled behind his back, kind of in like a military stance pose, from like a military parade rest kind of pose. But he's got jet black hair. His suit is like silked up, fancy embroidery up and down the sleeves and along the collar. His pants are pressed. He's got not boots, but very nice like slippers on, which is a little weird because he's a minotaur. You're like, I'm not sure how that works, but okay. But he's very imposing, is what it is. And the minotaur kind of waves a hand and he goes, "Yes, yes, whatever. Whatever my appointment is, bring them in at once." And the servant bows again and goes, "Yes, my lord." On an 18, you do catch that just past the servant, there is another figure that's standing there. He is he's a Goliath, and he's about 6.5 feet tall, completely clean shaven, but tattooed all over, and some kind of tribal tattoos that you don't recognize. You pull back just in time as the door opens, and the servant bows. He goes, "Ma'am, Lord Vigilhand will see you now. Please enter."
I stride forward and like crook my finger to everyone behind me to follow me.
Jesus.
You're soaking it up. I like it. I
Everyone in
like
here
it.
is so tall.
It's- All right, so everyone's going to shuffle in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Okay.
don't feel like I have a choice.
Probably smart. So you all shuffle in, and you guys all see what you saw before. Virgil Hand is standing before an empty fireplace. It's just an empty hearth at the moment. This is again a smoking room, so there's various chairs and like couches to lounge in. There's a almost like a coffee table with various like fruits and vegetables or fruits on it, I should say, candied sweets. There's even a tray of like tea that's sitting there, but it's untouched. There's a small desk off to the side that he's just kind of ignoring at the moment. Bookshelves as well with various tomes on them, not tombs. It'd be very weird to have a tomb in your bookshelf.
I
Very
mean,
strange.
maybe it's for a mouse.
Maybe it is. I'm not going to have you guys roll a perception check for this, but you guys can tell by just looking around that there's a lot of wealth in here. There are some books that you just catching your eyes are probably worth a couple hundred gold at least, just for the rarity that they're in. First print editions of certain things. There's also seemingly weird, kind of like magical, like trinkets of sorts. Like there's one that you can see. It's like a ship in a bottle, but as you look at it, it's a ship, and then you glance away. You look back at it, and now it's a whale that's just floating. And then you look away, like you look at it, and you watch it shift, and it twists and turns into like a little horse and a knight riding through the air. It's a mimic in a bottle, essentially, for it. But there's little trinkets like that all
I
over.
need that.
Yeah, I'm
No.
leaving with that thing.
Oh my God.
So there's all kinds of weird trinkets like that all over the place. Definitely, you look around and you're like, this guy's got wealth. Like again, he is very powerful for the region. But as soon as you all enter, the servant closes the door and says, "My lord," and exits. You see Whisperwind kind of step up in front of you, Camilla, and he bows deeply. And he goes, "Lord Vigilhand, it is nice to see you again. I'm glad you accepted." And Vigilhand just doesn't say anything. He just holds up a hand, like a fist, and Whisperwind cuts off, just mid sentence. Doesn't bother like standing up straight. He's still bent over, and he kind of looks at you guys and goes, like, head like, "Come on, copy me."
I'm gonna curtsy.
I guess I will copy Whisperwind to the best of my ability.
Yeah,
Okay.
I awkwardly bow.
I
Thing.
do
Okay.
a little
Accustomed to this.
salute.
Everybody, go ahead and just do a performance check.
Oh boy.
Oh, I had 12.
15.
Oh, me too.
22.
Yours is perfect.
Checks
Okay.
out.
Yep.
After you guys kind of get into these awkward positions, bowing and curtsying, you're not really sure exactly what to do. You're kind of mimicking. And after maybe about like it drags on like 10 seconds, like 30, a minute. You're like, should we do anything? And after about 2 minutes, Vigilhand lowers his hand and Whisperwind stands straight and motions for you guys to do the same. Everyone go to make a perception check.
That's a 10.
17.
17.
Well,
Wait,
Camilla,
what's
you're
my
lucky. You
thing
can
again?
turn that into a 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't know how nat ones work on skill checks in our run through, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it just says you can just make it a 10.
Yeah. Yeah, so. Ooh, 18. Look at you go.
Okay, so everyone but Branch. Branch, you're just kind of like eyes focused on that mimic in a bottle. You're like, that's mine. The rest of you guys notice that one, Vigilhand is kept his back straight. He hasn't turned and looked at you or acknowledged you in general. But the other man in the room, he's got a sword strapped across his back, like a great sword. And he is wearing armor, so he's some kind of bodyguard, you can tell. And he is kind of eyeing you all up and down. And you can very much tell that he does consider you guys to potentially be a threat of some kind. If you guys get the impression, maybe a minor one at that. But he doesn't say anything about it. He just kind of assesses you guys and picks up an apple and takes a bite. Like he's totally comfortable. Vigilhand, however, at that point, as you guys kind of see this happen, you hear the crunch of the apple. He goes, "Whisperwind, I am tired of your baying and crying of your problems to me. What is so important that you had to disturb me today?" And Whisperwind kind of goes, "Well, my lord, you see, And then Vigilhand just stops him. He goes, it's not even important. Whatever your petty worries are, don't care. They are nothing. Just like you. Just a waste of my time. Stop. Whisperwind kind of goes, but my lord, this is about the thefts that have been happening and the symbols. Vigilhand kind of like in that moment, Vigilhand kind of turns his head and he looks at you, and you guys see him raise an eyebrow, and he goes, "What? And you brought these four?" He kind of smirks at you, like the nose goes up a little bit, and goes, well, I don't even know what to call you. Ruffians, perhaps? And he goes, no, that'd be too kind. Thugs, perhaps. Even that. God. What? And you think they would be able to do anything about this? Is that why you bother to waste my time? And Whisperwind kind of, you can see him kind of just take a step back, and you can see he's very uncomfortable. Like he feels probably like he made a mistake of some kind in this.
Do we have the coin still?
You do, yes.
I'm going to idly flip the coin.
Okay.
Bro, you read my mind.
So you start to flip the coin, and Vigilhand's like he turns fully towards you and snorts. Like you can see there's anger in his eyes that you would dare do something like that. And he takes a few steps towards you, like, and he's a big, imposing guy in general. But then you hear the Goliath between his mouth. He goes, "Well, my lord, perhaps there is something they might know about it. They seem to have something in their possession at the very least." And Vigilhand kind of stops, seems to take a deep breath, center himself, and he goes, fine. If you have wasted my afternoon, though, I will not let it stand. Understood? Whispering goes, yes, my lord, yes, my lord. We have something. I promise. I promise. He goes, very well. Sit if you must. He motions for you guys to take a seat.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, cool.
So unless you guys want to say anything, Whisperwind will kind of give a brief, very brief summary of what happened the night
Yeah,
before.
that's fair.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
wave him on like I'm ordering him to do so.
Okay.
Branch meows every once in a
my
while.
God.
Oh. Okay. So Whisperwind tells the story. After a moment, like halfway through his story, Vigilhand takes a seat in one of this, like a high-backed chair, and kind of folds his legs like up, and then he motions to the table, like where there's a teacup sitting there, it's steaming. And he goes, motions for somebody to bring him his tea, and he fully expects one of you or somebody to stand up and do that. Is anybody going to do it?
No, I'm not doing it. I don't know what the fuck it
Not
was.
it.
I'm just gonna look around and be like, I don't see anybody here.
Okay.
Oh, I see what's going on. Okay, I go, I get the tea. I'm gonna go pick up the tea.
Okay. Are you going to bring it to him?
I'm gonna chug it. I'm gonna chug it all.
Oh my
As soon as
God.
you go to do that, you hear this, like you can see the look on his face of just sheer anger. Like he's snorting angry. Whisperwind just stops mid-sentence and is pale white. But the bodyguard over there goes, bring that to our lord.
Oh,
If you know what's good for you.
it's not
Just
for
like,
me. I was just trying to be nice. You're offering us tea. I didn't want to deny it. Yeah, here you go.
He takes the tea from you and kind of wrinkles his nose and then puts it down on the table next to him, and he waves you away, and looks to Whisperwind. He goes, well, why did you stop?
That's
He goes,
okay.
oh,
I prefer chamomile anyways.
my lord, I'm sorry. And then he continues. So you can tell it's very awkward. Whisperwind is very much feels out of place here, or like he's very low in station. And thus far, I would say that all of you can tell that Vigil Hand has pretty much expected you and everyone else beneath him to treating you like servants more than anything else. Whisperwind finishes the story and motions for you to present the coin. That's where he ends.
Okay. Coin presented.
So
Hold that in hand, I suppose.
Whisperwind kind of takes it and gives it, walks over and hands it to the Lord, and it says, "This is what we found. This is what the Red Hill Shipping Company says that it does and how it works." And as he mentions the Red Hill Shipping Company, he kind of, Vigil Hand just kind of rolls his eyes and he goes, "They've been making a fortune, creating elaborate vaults for various merchants such as yourself. Such a waste of the wealth in Tardity. Perhaps you should talk to them. They might know more." You guys can all talk if you want. There's like no, like, you can. There's commentary. Like the story time is done. So if you guys want to comment, ask questions or whatever, this is kind of the time.
Yeah. Well, key thing to remember here is that we don't blow things up.
So at no point in the story did he say you blew things up. He said the bandit.
Well, I'm just saying, like, just in case it could be construed in any way that we blew anything up, that we don't do that.
Well, now that you're mentioning it, if you're going to,
Damn it, Branch.
Jesus Christ, Branch.
he
Oh,
absolutely
Jesus.
raises an eyebrow and says, "Perhaps, Whisperwind, you should look to your compatriots for who blew up your house."
Damn it, Branch.
I step in and wave off the notion. Like, ridiculous. We were there. We were trying to prevent the bandits from stealing. We succeeded.
Not very
They
well,
blew
by
up.
the sounds of it. Although I would expect nothing less than riffraff like yourselves.
Oh yeah, you could do better,
Yeah,
huh?
so far.
Yeah, you wanna do it, or you just?
I don't have to do anything. My personal
You
guard,
do your guard,
I can
apparently.
tell.
I hire only the best. I have not been robbed so blindly.
We're robbing you right now.
All right. Well, the next time they come for
Of
your
your
house,
time.
it's okay. We'll see.
Branch, do
See how
you
that
really
ends up
say
going.
that? I need to know. Do you really say that?
Yes, Brett. That is something Branch would say.
We're robbing
Unfortunately,
you right now. The words
We are
leave
not
your
robbing
mouth.
you
I
right
need you
now.
to
of your
make.
time. I said of your time.
Uh, okay.
Oh, God.
He did not hear you say like of your time, and he made an attack to try and grab you. What's your AC?
17.
Yeah, he definitely does. He moves rather quickly, and not only does he manage to move, but he grabs you by the throat and shoves you down onto the ground so fast that you're gonna take.
That's why we can't have nice things.
Oh, he rolled a 1, so you're lucky. But it's going to be 6 bludgeoning damage as he slams you down into the ground. The rest of you kind of are like, "Wait, what the fuck?" And you didn't even realize it, but the bodyguard has already stepped up, long sword or his great sword drawn and pointed at the 4 of you, or the 4 of you that are remaining, and kind of is like looks ready to attack. He says, "Are you planning to steal from my lord?" And he says, "Keep your tongues if you know what's best for you."
I'm just gonna sit here and be like, "Are you all deaf?"
Yeah,
I'm fine.
I'm gonna sit here with my face in my hand and just shaking my head.
I don't think starting a fight is worth a thug air quotes a thug's snarky remark. Apparently,
Well,
he's
at
not that
least
far, but you are.
I guess you feel pretty threatened by us to do this, huh?
He begins to squeeze. Well, you, he's choking the life out of you at this point, Branch.
What you got?
Oh my god, you rolled a 1 again, so you take another 6 bludgeoning damage.
Oh
And you
Jesus!
begin to feel your wingpipe being crushed. Whisperwind at this point is like, "Oh my lord, stop, stop!"
Hey, get on!
Branch, are you just gonna kind of be like tapping, like stop, tapping out?
You could also attempt to escape the grapple bridge,
And
which is an acrobatics roll. You don't have to contest the. You don't have to contest strength.
no.
No, I'm just gonna keep taking it.
Oh wow.
I'm not gonna. I'm
Okay.
not gonna fight back. I'm not gonna try and get out of it. I'm just gonna keep taking it.
Okay. Okay. So about. Okay, this time you're going to take almost max damage. You take 13 bludgeoning damage as you begin to slowly black out, and I'm going to say you begin to fall unconscious. You're still at your hit points. You're just falling unconscious from lack of air at the moment. And Whisperwind finally manages to calm things down a little bit. Yeah, he rolled high enough for that. Convinces the bodyguard, who you guys hear his name is. What's his name? Oh my gosh.
Steve.
Steve. No, it's not Steve. He has a name. Keorath is his name. Keorath. Keorath is his name. Whisperwind finally manages to convince him it was like misspoken words. He meant like he tried to say of his time, and tries to mull things over. Keorath finally puts the sword away and walks up and goes, "My lord, perhaps you should let him be. He was a slip of the tongue." And you just see the Minotaur, who's got his both hands wrapped around Branch's throat, choking the life out of him. At the moment, finally goes, "Fine," and releases. And Branch, you go, okay, sorry," and then you just pass out. You're just unconscious on the floor.
Free nap.
Free nap.
Joke's on you.
Nah.
Joke's on you. Choke on me.
Oh Jesus!
Cat nap. Cat nap.
Hit him with the cat nap.
That's one way to get a cat nap. Oh my gosh. All right. So the Lord basically stands, straightens his jacket, and goes and stands in front of the hearth again. And he goes, "Well, unless you have anything else, be gone with you. I don't want to see you ever again." Whisperwind just kind of like looks at the four of you and is like whispers, like, or mouths, like, "Question. If we're gonna find out anything, now's the chance. Please, I pulled a lot of strings for this."
Didn't you say there was somebody to talk to when we started this?
Yeah. So any of you guys can, if you guys want to voice questions or comments, although you probably
I'll
want to
just
be
ask
careful on the
about Allura.
comments.
I'll just be like, "Have you heard of a woman named Allura or whatever?"
Make an insight check.
Oh, okay. That is a 19.
Ooh. You mention Alora's name, and for the briefest of moments, you see the Lord, his back kind of tenses for a moment before relaxing, and you also see the guard, and you see his eyes flicker to the Lord and then back to you. But then Virgil Hand says, "No, I know no such person."
All right, so he knows something. He might also be in on it. Wouldn't surprise me. Let's see. Could be blackmail. Could be a lot of possibilities there. What else would I ask? I'll just be like, "Well, we have strong reason to believe that she is the leader of this band of thieves. At least this portion of them."
He goes, you may believe what you want, but not. I have heard nothing of this.
That's
He does
fair.
make
I'm just
some
letting you know.
offhanded comment. He says that if anything, it's that fool of a man at the den that would know more about this. If you're looking for a woman, he might know.
Well, at least his eagerness to deflect gave us something.
What man?
He just says the proprietor of the den.
Oh, that's probably enough to go on.
Yeah. Are there any other questions or leads or insights any of you want to ask? Everybody can ask questions except for Branch. Sorry, Branch.
I did this to myself.
Literally.
I'm gonna ask about Gerzog. I'm curious about Gerzog. Like, who is Gerzog?
So the commentary you get is that you can tell that one, Vigilhand is not impressed by Garzak. But both him and the bodyguard would be able to can tell you that Gerzak is he's the person in charge of the Red Hill Shipping Company in this part of the country. If you guys want to ask more questions specifically about the Red Hill Shipping Company, he's probably not the person to ask. They're a pretty well-known shipping company, so it's not going to be super hard to find information about them.
I was gonna say, also if he's in charge of it, and like, how wide of a swath of the country is quote this part of the country?
So looking at the area map, let me pull up region map. He would control most of the region, if not all of it. Pretty much anything that's in the empire, from what you can see in this part.
Easily more powerful than this guy. All right.
I mean, you would assume that based on two factors. One, he's a high-level spellcaster of some kind, which is exceedingly rare.
Not even just like powerful, like combat, just like it's just a big company operating across a large swath of the country, and he is a local lord.
Yeah. Yeah. So you would just how you would think,
so
like your
maybe not specifically here, but broadly.
Yeah, so your character would know, like all of your characters would know this. So the local lords are going to be like, hey, if like the merchants wanted to trade in town, they have to get the local lord's approval and pay taxes to them. So the Red Hill Shipping Company pays taxes and stuff to this guy, but like you said, you're right. Like world, like empire spanning this, like the Red Hill Shipping Company is like, okay, cool, we can't trade in that town. Whatever, we'll go elsewhere.
Yeah, like if they wanted to.
Yeah, exactly.
They could do some shit. All right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Makes sense. Garzog did strike me as just kind of a bigger deal in general anyways, but it's nice to have that confirmed.
Yeah. You can tell that the Lord considers Garzak like beneath him, like the way he talks about him.
The Lord considers like everybody beneath him. That's not special.
Pretty much. Pretty much is that as arrogant and cocky as one can be. Self-centered.
Classic aristocracy. He's very tall.
He is very tall. He's about 7 feet tall. He's very, very tall.
Do I have my coin back?
Yeah, they would give you the coin back. Camilla, what was going to be your question?
I'm gonna ask if he knows anything about the dragon sightings. Those rumors.
That's fair.
So he kind of like he seems intrigued about dragons, but he doesn't know anything. He kind of turns to his personal guard, Korath, and he says, "Have you heard anything of dragons? This is this would be important, and why haven't you told me about this?" And Korath is just like, "The only thing I've heard of dragons has been the Battle of Ritham. I haven't heard anything since then." Yeah. And the Lord kind of waves it away. He goes, "I know about that. It's all the news and people will talk about."
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Seems like a productive information gathering session.
Any other questions from Arnok or Camilla?
No.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Has he seen the golden symbol with his own eyes anywhere?
He has not. His personal guard Korath has not either. Although Korath does mention that, and Vigilhand just kind of brushes aside and says it's a pointless conversation. That is, he's being overly dramatic. But Korath continues. He says that there's a local temple dedicated to the goddess Sylvanas that's recently had an influx of patrons and signs of prosperity. They both mention, like, Virgil Hand motions, it's not uncommon for the faiths to go wax and wane, and you guys are aware of that too. Like, as the seasons come and change, people are like, oh, it's planting season. Sylvanas, the goddess of nature, yeah, we're gonna worship her more. Pretty common.
Well, it's
But
spring Christmas
Okay.
yeah, at Christmas.
when everyone goes to church.
Yes, exactly. But where Korath is concerned is that there was previously a friend of his was the priest in charge of the temple, and his friend has disappeared and been replaced by a different priest. And after this new
What?
priest appeared, that's when the temple started to become more prosperous. And so he's concerned because he doesn't he's expressed concern because he doesn't know what happened to his friend, but he also isn't sure why there's all the prosperity. It's not planting season. So it seems a little strange.
And I assume Vigil Hand doesn't care that his friend is missing.
No, doesn't
No.
give two shits.
Awesome.
He's telling him he's wasting his time. Says his friend's probably a drunk in a hole somewhere.
I mean, that checks out.
Right. Well,
I mean, he mocks his friend for becoming a priest instead of, trying to earn a living.
That's rude.
Where's Friedrich when you need him?
Yeah. Yeah. Richard could have a field day in here. That'd be amazing.
He would. I wouldn't be able to take him seriously.
No, he wouldn't.
No? Anybody else?
no, I don't think so. Although I do want to try and, when we leave, see if we can talk to the guard.
The
More?
bodyguard?
Yeah. Away from Vigil
I
Hand.
did. Wasn't the bodyguard in here with him?
He is in here
Yeah.
with he's
I
been
don't
they've
think
both
he's
been
gonna
talking,
leave.
so he's been providing information as he could.
Right, but he was he wasn't walking up with us. He
No,
was
he
just in
wasn't.
the room with Visual Ham when we came in.
Correct.
Yeah, but I want to
Yeah.
ask him about his friend without Vigil
Oh,
Hand
that's what you meant. Okay, yeah.
being a butthead.
That's
Um,
fair.
if you want to try and catch his attention to do something like that, I would say roll a. Say a performance check. I'll give you one of two options: either a performance check or a sleight of hand. So a performance is you want to hey, by the way, when we're leaving, you should come with us. Versus the sleight of hand is under the table, hey, make some hand gestures, come talk to us, kind of thing.
Which would you like?
Well, I already rolled performance.
Oh, it's an 18.
That's a. Oh.
Okay.
So you
18,
just
gotta love
reliable talent.
Final count. 10
You just gotta
always.
remember. If you have that filled in circle, everything you roll is at least a 10.
Anything with expertise.
It's way down in your features.
Of course it is.
Whenever you make an ability check that uses a skill or tool proficiency, it's fantastic. You can do it with so much.
Yeah. So it's what? Stealth, sleight of hand, persuasion, performance, perception, intimidation, insight, even
Indeed.
arcana. Holy shit!
Yeah,
Plus,
I have acrobatics, arcana, history, insight, investigation, perception, sleight of hand, and stealth for that.
yeah.
Okie dokie. I guess I rolled an 18 then.
Okay.
Oh, I found it. There it is.
It's
Okay.
it's a highlight, so it's way down.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, he kind of notices and just looks at the Lord and then looks back to you and just does a brief nod. And that's it.
Cool.
Anything else?
No.
I really kind of want that mimic in a bottle.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. I'm sure you can find one somewhere else. Maybe.
I mean,
No, but now I
but I've
definitely want
already
Vigil
found
Hands
one.
You just
It's
want
after
it.
okay.
meeting
We
him.
can rob him later
I
when he
mean,
doesn't know we're here.
true.
Oh, that's
And
fair.
also maybe leave one of those sigils like graffitied somewhere.
Hey, by the way, look at what I
On
left
his
you.
Has he-
face while he's sleeping.
Has he recently swept the 40 rooms of his estate?
Probably not himself, but he does have a lot of servants. I'm sure somebody has done it.
It's okay. We're sneaky as fuck, Camilla. We'll figure something out.
That's true. You guys are sneaky as fuck.
See
My
if we
minimum
can
roll on stealth is 21, so
see if we could talk to any servants too when we get out of Vigil Hand's sight.
I don't really know the servants, but well, I could ask the servants about Vigil Hand and Lure.
Here, I found the picture of where I got the inspiration from Mimic in a Bottle.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I don't think that'll show up. Hold on.
So the inspiration was from the song "Genie in a Bottle."
I mean, that's probably not far off. But no.
I don't know.
There you go. Mimic in a Bottle.
Uh,
That's
Hell yeah.
terrifying.
hell yeah.
And so it just changes to random things. Whatever. It's just.
The eyeballs are so scary.
What do you mean? That's so cute.
Oh, never mind. They're cannons.
The cannon. The little green thing is the eyeball.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was reading that wrong.
The green thing is
My
the
version
eyeball
was
and
way
the
scarier.
cannon.
I mean, it turned into a mimic in a bottle, like a ship. It turned into a knight. It turned into all
Yeah,
that.
the cannons were eyes. I could kind of see it.
Yeah, I was really
Yeah.
scared. I was like, why does it
Yeah,
have two
same.
human eyes?
Yeah, it's staring at you. Yeah.
Hell, you want to talk to that guy? I want to ask the servants about Allura then, and then yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay. So as you guys go to depart, you go to pick up the coin, and as you guys kind of get towards the
Gotta
door,
start Dragon Branch.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna pick up
Or
Branch
wait.
and toss Branch over my shoulder.
Okay, I'm gonna slap Branch as well when you have him picked up. Be like, wake up!
So as you guys are getting ready to depart, you guys get to the door. Whisperwind is bowing. Thank you, my lord. Thank you. Thank you. You know that you
Yeah,
bend
whatever,
over
that's fine.
backwards kind of thing. Vigilhand does kind of call over his shoulder and he says, if you can determine where these stolen valuables are going and provide that information, I will make it worth your while. I can offer you anything that should within your desire.
We all look at the mimic in a bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, given how much they're stealing, I guess it'd be pretty hard to carry all of it, so we can just take our cut out of that too, and then be like, here it is.
Yeah. They spent the rest. Sorry.
I mean, for how much they're taking, I'm sure it's not gonna go very noticed.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even know roughly how much has been taken so far.
I
You
mean,
can
they
estimate.
already took what, like 60K from this one guy on their
Yeah, it
failed
was like 50,
attempt. Like,
60K.
Yeah, I think it was 90 is what it was.
yeah,
Oh, Jesus.
yeah, like, and that's one guy, and it's not even like a good night for them.
Yeah.
So I think how much we could carry is probably not a huge portion of how much they have.
Yeah, it's a good bet. But yeah, so he does tell you, bring that information to
We'll
him, and he will make it worth your while.
I mean, I'm probably still gonna
Um,
bring that information to literally anybody else, but
and, like he expects it to go to him, but that's just his expectation.
yeah,
What you guys decide to do is totally up to you. You guys can do whatever you want. So you guys step out, and
find a way.
after a moment, as you guys move into the hallway, Korath, you guys close the door. You see Korath step up and start talking to Vigil Hand, and he kind of glances towards you, Camilla, And you get the impression, I'm not going to have you roll for it, but you get the impression he's just like, hey, can you wait a moment? And he'll come and talk to you. But you said you guys wanted to talk to some of the servants, correct?
Yeah, that too. That too.
Okay. So as soon as you guys step out to the door, you see the same servant as before come rushing up. He says, "Oh, I see the appointment with my lord is over." And he kind of looks at Branch and he goes, "Oh, I see it did not go very well. Perhaps
Most things don't
follow
go
me."
very well for Branch. That's okay.
Ah, yes, understood, sir. Understood. Perhaps if you would, and he motions like off to the side for a moment and kind of looks down a hallway and he goes, "Ah, yes, come here, please."
Oh, okay.
And you see a woman kind of rush down, and she's like a serving woman. She's a gnome, dressed in. They're all dressed in like the servant livery, so all matching kind of uniform type stuff. He goes, "Ah, yes. Do you have any of the smelling salts with you?" Um, and she goes, "Oh, well, yes, of course. Why would? Oh, not again." And she kind of ruffles into one of her like under her skirt for a moment and pulls out a small like pack. And she goes, "Well, perhaps it'd be best if you put him down. I cannot quite reach. If you're a little tall
Yeah.
for me."
I'm just gonna hold him out by a foot, hang him upside down.
Yeah. I was gonna sit here and be like, I really don't know why I would just let him do that. Like, I probably could have quite easily not been choked out, but Branch is a mystery.
Yeah. So you hold him up like and like so his head is down, his hands are dragging across the floor. But you're just kind of like, okay, go for it. She goes, "Well, I've never done it this way before. This is kind of awkward." Kind of tilts her head sideways, like she's trying to look at Branch right side up, and then she goes, "Well, I guess whatever." She
I
pops
can
the
shake
cork.
him if it'll help.
Well, she pops the cork off this smelling salts, and puts it under Branch's nose for like right by him. And Branch, you just boom, wake up. You're like, ah! And everybody kind of jumps back. Arnok, are you just going to let him go, or you mean you're holding him upside down at this point?
Yeah, I'm gonna let him go.
All right, Branch, you kind of scramble up, kind of rubbing at your throat and your I think it's your thorax. I think is what it is, and your
Yeah, I think
yeah
so.
Thorax.
yeah whatever
Yeah, bug.
the whatever is in your windpipe.
Oh yeah, you're trachea.
Trachea. Thank you. That's what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, it's your trachea. I'm like, no, that's not right. Like parts of the human body. God damn it, there's too many. So you're like, okay, yeah, thanks. I'm awake, guys. You're kind of like that sore throat kind of
I'm just gonna
feeling.
look at Branch and be like, why did you not attempt to roll away?
Wasn't worth my time.
Eh, you know
It
what?
really was just
I
it
can't even
wasn't a
argue with
threat.
that, man. That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, the gnome woman, she kind of like corks the salt and she goes, very strange fellow. Will that be anything else? She goes, the servant man goes, "Oh, no, thank you very much, Penny. That was very helpful. Thank you." She goes, "Thank
I'll
you."
hold up
And,
a hand to stop her.
yes.
Oh,
What?
are we talking to these two? Is that who we're pulling aside?
Yeah, they're already here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
The
Okay.
doorman probably sees a lot.
Yeah, probably. So do I remember Allura from seeing her way back in Kiev? Like, could I describe her?
Oh, could you just grab Laura?
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember like offhand as you as the character? Or like you as the person, I should say, not you as the character.
Well, I don't even know if my doc's notes doc goes back that far. Oh, actually, it might. Hold on. Let's see if I wrote it down. No, I think it was after we left.
It would have been like session 2 or 3.
Yeah, it was pretty early. I just have the. I kind of cuts abruptly from we're on the island doing all these puzzles and shit back to.
Okay. Yeah, it'd have been before that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know that she's human. You remember that.
Okay.
You remember that she has raven black hair.
Okay. Fair enough.
And I mean, she was attractive, if scary looking.
That's fair.
But she, like, you remember those details, but you also remember that she kind of kept to herself and kind of kept into the shadows, so it was difficult to see her all the time.
Sure.
She spoke the least, but you got the impression that she was probably like they were all powerful in their own way, but her magic, she was definitely some kind of spellcaster.
Sure.
Her magic was unique in some way. You just got that
Okay.
impression off of her right off the bat.
Well, I'm immediately gonna ask, be like, hey, do either of you recall seeing, say, a woman named Allura? She wouldn't have said her name. She had like really black hair, conventionally attractive human woman. She doesn't talk a lot, very quiet, likes to stick to shadows. You wouldn't really, it's hard getting a good look at her. Ever remember anybody coming around here like that? Magical?
Hot damn, Snifty, you are lucky as shit. I rolled for both of them. One rolled an 18, and the other one rolled a nat 20.
Ooh!
So Penny, the woman, will say she rolled the 20. And she goes, yes, I remember seeing such a woman as that. Perhaps, and she looks up to the butler and she goes, do you remember Zilthar? When was she here last? Perhaps a month, maybe two. She came to visit the Lord. Maybe then. Remember, it was a very quiet meeting. They were told to deliver refreshments, and then that was it. No, nothing else. And you see, little. Oh my gosh, Zilthar. I think I said his name was. It's Lilxthar.
Yeah.
So little Zilthar. We'll just call him Zilthar. It's not even pronounced the same way or spelled the same way, but that's what it is. He kind of looks kind of cross at the gnome for a moment, but he says, "The master's business is his own, if you don't mind, and who he meets with is of his own accord. It is none of my business or hers to speak of such things." You can see Penny kind of go, "Oh, yes, that's very true. I'm sorry. I have a big mouth sometimes."
It's okay. The Lord had already told me as much himself, so I just wanted to get corroboration.
Well, now you have it. Now, if you would please, I'd like to. And kind of motions for you to leave. As he does that, the door opens behind you guys, and Korath comes out. As soon as he comes out, you hear Penny go, and she kind of dashes off.
Well, Camilla, while you talk to that guy, I also have a question lined up for Whisperwind then while we're waiting.
Sure. So Camilla will say Korath, and you kind of move off to the side. Zilrath kind of seeing that you guys are going to talk, kind of motions for you guys off to the side to kind of move out of the main entry or out of the hallway. So Camilla, you can certainly speak to Korath without any problems. And Zilrath kind of steps away. He's out of earshot. So ask your questions.
I guess I'll ask him about like the last time he saw his friend. Heard any information about him? Like last time he contacted him, if he got any letters.
So he says that they didn't exchange letters of any kind when they knew each other when they were young. And he says they essentially they went to the same school for a couple of years. When they were young, their parents sent them to the same school, so that was how they knew each other. They didn't know each other very well. It was kind of like in their later teenage years. But they kept in contact. It's like kind of somebody that he runs into every now and then, like, oh, hey, I ran into you in the store, and then you don't see them for a while, and oh, I ran into you again. It's that kind of thing. And so they've kept in contact over the years as they've ran into each other and kind of talked about their lives and what's happened. They've met for drinks here or there. but he says the last time he saw him was roughly about 2 months ago. Which you're like, huh, interesting.
Yeah, this might line up with my question to Whisperwind.
Yeah, he says it was roughly about 2 months ago, and he had spoken to his friend who he says his name was Brother Thomlin. We'll say Thomlin is his name that he gives him. This says, Thomlin, I ran into him in the market. He was trying to get some stuff for himself and the other priests. And he seemed they seemed stressed for cash. He says he gave him some coins so they could get some food for them, which is again not uncommon. You guys are kind of aware of that. The waxing and waning of tithes to various religions. But he does mention that Thomlin seemed more upset than normal, as if there was something else going on. And he mentioned to Korath that the next time they meet up, that he would tell him more and talk to him about it. They had set up a chance to meet to go get lunch about a month later, and Tomlin never showed up.
I thank him for his information.
He says, "You're welcome." He says, "I hope there's nothing has happened, but if you find any information, I would be interested to know what happened or where he is." He says, even if it's just he's been transferred to another temple, which is, again, you guys know that's not uncommon. Like Frederick would have told you guys stuff like that. Like, oh, hey, I was at one temple and then I went to another one and then to another one. So he doesn't expect foul play personally. It's just not something that happens in the priesthood, which is the whole point of why it felt so odd.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, Camille, unless you have any other questions.
I'll also ask him if he's happened to see the golden symbol anywhere.
He has not, but he's heard reports of it. He's talked to other guards, like personal guards of merchants. So he has contacts in the civil guard as well, and he's seen drawings and depictions of it. He's heard stories of it appearing, but he hasn't seen it in person. And so far as he is aware, nothing like that has appeared on his lord's building or any of his property.
Okie dokie. And that is all I have.
All right, Camilla. I'm sorry, Camilla. Polamides.
Yeah, I just have a very quick question for Whispering. I'm gonna be like, so when did these robberies start, roughly?
About a month ago.
Interesting. Okay. That's all.
Okay. All right. Unless you guys have any other questions, Korath will wish you farewell. And then Zilrath will motion for you guys to leave, and Whisperwind will be like, okay, we should probably leave now.
Okay. We're out of here.
All right. So you guys will depart, go back to the carriages, which are waiting, and you ride back to the Gilded Stag.
After all, we gotta give it at least a few days before we heist that mimic in a bottle.
100%.
All right. So you
Would've
guys get
forgotten
back to
about us by then.
you guys get back to the inn. You guys are fine for now. Whisperwind says, "I hope it was beneficial for you."
Somewhat new.
He says, "If you have any other questions, let us know. If you find any information, please let me know." And so on and so forth. And then he departs. Calamities, you did want to know more about the Red Hill Shipping Company, yes?
I don't know that I do from anybody around here, but there's something to bring up with Garzak if we see him again. Garzak.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Messing up his name in new and creative ways.
Yeah, that's what happens with most of my characters. People come up with the creative names to murder their names. All right, but what do you guys want to do? You have 2 potential leads.
Yeah,
I want to check out this temple. What's happening at the
Yeah, I
With
feel like the only one we
Sylvanas'
can really act on is the temple, because while I know Allura came to visit him, I don't really know what the fuck they did or how to investigate that. So I feel like the temple's a good lead.
Okay. So you were talking about the den, though, right? For yours, you're not quite
Oh,
sure.
yes. Right. Forgot
Okay.
about the den.
Okay. Yeah. So that's your lead: the den or the temple, or the two.
Yes.
Hi, Taffy.
Oh well, if that's the case, then let's go to the den first, so then we can ask for forgiveness or whatever at the temple after.
From the goddess of
Not a
nature.
bad idea.
Okay.
We must
So
cleanse
you guys don't.
ourselves.
It's not super difficult to ask. You can easily ask around.
Makes
It
sense.
takes all of 5 minutes. The den is a gambling den. It's just called the den, but it is
Okay.
both a gambling den that's publicly known, but you ask easily, people are like, "Oh yeah, like if something shady is going down, somebody there at the den is gonna know." But then at the same time, they're like, "But there's no proof that anything shady ever happens there. Nobody's ever caught anybody."
So it's effective.
Yeah, it is very effective. Um, is that all you want to know about it? Like that's pretty basic information.
No, I mean, just where it is seems like a great place to start.
Okay, hold on. Let me deal with Taffy. She's trying to eat the cables. No Taffy.
Okay.
Oh no, not for.
The forbidden
Electronics
spaghetti.
are not food. They're friends. Just so everyone knows, I've officially put into this notes Google Doc. We should heist that mimic in a bottle.
Heist the mimic. Mimic heist. That's what it is. Ocean's
We are
11 mimic heist.
liberating it.
Stands out.
We are liberating it.
We already had a Liberation Day. We might have a Liberation Day 2, mimic style.
I think our Liberation Day will be cooler.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, so it's not hard to find the den. People give you directions. You find yourselves in front of quite literally a gambling den. It looks like a fancy inn from the outside. Let me change the map. So this is the den. You walk in. This is the inside.
Hot diggity.
Ooh.
Oh,
Fruit.
Fruit
so you
indeed.
get to put yourselves on the board.
Woo!
We'll say bottom right is where you guys kind of
Fancy pool.
Bottom
come
right.
in.
All right.
Yeah,
Boom.
and you like there's somebody at the front door that kind of like checks you in, make sure you guys aren't carrying your weapons with you. They're still in your bags, but he kind of once over you, make sure you don't have any weapons. Kind of do the pat down. It's like going to a club essentially.
Giggity.
But you guys walk in. There is a lot of smoke, a lot of commotion. There are close to 100 people of all races gambling about. There are people, everything from casual clothes to more of the fancy, like not like people not necessarily in work clothes, but kind of their Sunday best, as you word, for it. Taffy, what? That is my sweater. Please don't eat my sweater.
Better the sweater than the cables.
Right. With a symbol for my work on the front of it. She's trying to eat the symbol.
Jesus.
But I mean, yeah. So there are lots of things. There's a guy playing the piano, filling the room. But there is all kinds of
Piano guy.
yeah. What do you guys want? What's your flavor? Cards, dice, roulette.
My flavor is being really boring and asking around for. Let's see here. Where the hell did I write this down? The proprietor.
Rider. Okay, so make a investigation check. I'll give you advantage.
Oh, okay.
Not that you need it, because I think you have a plus 10 on that, right?
Nah, I just have +4 on investigation. But
22. Okay. You find the proprietor. Everyone actually included. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
Give me a pretty high perception check, just so you guys know.
20.
It's almost a 24. That was funny.
Okay.
14.
Taffy, ow.
Taffy notices.
Taffy rolled a nat
18?
20. Yeah, did you roll? Yeah.
Perception, yeah.
Yes, that is an 18.
Okay, so let me add him. At the very least. Taffy, ow.
Get him, Taffy.
We'll say, where would he be? I don't know if I like that table. We'll say he is, I don't know what this is. Oh, it's a slot machine.
He's a tiefling with a pistol.
Yo,
He
this
is
guy
a
looks sick.
tiefling with a pistol, and
This
he
guy looks
does have a
rad.
pistol.
He looks way
So
cooler
he
than
is. We'll say he's
what a
here,
dipshit.
sitting there. I'm gonna put you guys kind of here. You guys went up to the bar and asked. Easiest place to ask questions.
Hell yeah.
And like you, they point over to him. So he's kind of lounging against the wall, and there are like he's um, sitting there like playing cards, but he's kind of got this mischievous grin on his face. The dealer is playing like handing out the cards with him. There is another person sitting next to him that looks to be wealthy, but maybe around the level, or maybe a little bit less wealthy than, say, Whisperwind is. But Arnok, on your 20, you noticed that, like, you scanned the room. One, there are in the ceilings, there's a balcony that kind of goes around, but near, like, walking along the balcony at various points, there are people with crossbows. They're being very subtle and keeping them hidden, but they are kind of keeping an eye out of what's going on over the room.
It's a crossbow. Like, it's not a subtle thing.
It's a light crossbow, so it's easier to
Ah,
hide
okay.
than a
Okay.
heavy crossbow. Um,
Not like a heavy crossbow. Like,
no,
I'm
it's not a
really
big,
going to fuck
giant,
someone up
heavy
with this thing.
crossbow. They're like, hey, guess what? We're pointing it down at you. But there are also a lot of, like, you would say bodyguards would be a good way to put it. Or like bouncers kind of thing. Just security in general. You estimate, just kind of looking around, there's at least 10. But
Okay.
the bartender motions and says, oh, yeah, the Dale Van he's over there, and points to him. And you guys see him. He's a tiefling with his horns hang back. He's got a black, like, overcoat suit.
Hell yeah. Hell
And you do notice that on his hip, you can see is this glowing red, like, looks like just the handle part of a crossbow, and it's kind of flickering a little bit. But otherwise, that he's got rapier, or not rapier, a scimitar leaning up against the wall next to him. But he's just sitting there playing cards for the moment, and yeah, he laughs, throws down the cards, and the other player goes, "Ah, I don't, shit. Can we do double or nothing?" And Dalvin goes, don't have enough to cover the wager. You know it's not wise to bet against the house in this, right? And the other man goes, well, yeah, but yeah, I'm sure I have something I can. Really, Devlin, please. This is all I had. I mean, I'm sure I have something that's of value for this. And you see Delvin go, oh, I'm sure we can come to some kind of an arrangement. You know, I scratch your back, you scratch mine, after all. And see the man goes, oh, good, good. And he goes, no, in this case, it's going to be you are scratching my back. You will not get anything from me. Not with a hand like that. But, and he turns, he sees the four of you approaching. Goes, but we can continue this conversation later. I see we have guests. Hello. You new to my establishment?
Yeah, new to town in general.
Welcome. Pleasure to meet you. I am Dalvin. I am the proprietor of this establishment.
Trinity
And
is
you
in
are?
a bathroom break and has given me permission to RP as Camilla, so I like to imagine that Camilla is just kind of wowed by the glitz and glamour.
Okay.
Checks out though.
I mean, there is definitely a lot of glitz and glam for sure. I mean, this is
It's flashy in a way that I think Camilla would appreciate, as opposed to like the incredible wealth of uh, the Lord's estate.
yeah, this is more like the flashy kind of like you go to Vegas flashy. It's just
Exactly.
for
And I feel
show.
like Camilla would get a kick out of that.
We're missing
Okay.
Branch. There he is.
Me?
There's
There we
You
go.
Branch.
haven't spoken.
We got the added branch. There is a like where you guys are standing. There's a table with food, like it's a buffet kind of thing. Like you guys can eat.
Then
Like,
that is the perfect spot for Branch right there.
yeah.
Exactly. That's why we didn't have him with us.
All right. Yeah.
I'm just gonna open with like, yeah, Lord Kufran said perhaps you can help us with some information.
That pompous old windbag.
Yeah, he's kind of an
He-
asshole.
yeah, very much so. But he sent you my way. Oh, that's a first. I must
Well,
hear this story. Why would that old windbag send you to me?
well, between you and me, there's a woman that he's not so good about lying having met with that I asked him about, and in his
Most men are
deflection,
not
he
good at
said
lying
that
about women.
perhaps, well, that's true. In his deflection, he said, should ask. I don't remember his wording. It wasn't kind. I'm sure you're used to it. About that proprietor of the den about it.
Yes, that sounds like something he would say.
So, in that manner, what would you happen to know about a woman named Allura?
Oh. A women by named Alora. I've known many women. One named Alora. Oof.
She's
Surely
rather
I would remember someone
notable.
such as that.
Well,
Perhaps you can give me something more to go on than just a
well,
name.
describe her. The black hair, sticking to the shadows, not talking very often, fairly powerful with magic in some kind of unique way. Generally intimidating.
He goes, my kind of woman.
Exactly.
He goes, well, perhaps I have seen this woman. Perhaps not. What's in it for me?
Well, she's at the head of you know the robberies that have been happening around town the last month or so?
Hmm, who doesn't? It's the talk of the town.
Well, I'm pretty sure somewhere, probably nearer to town than farther, is little old Allura sitting on top of a pile of everyone else's wealth, and no one else is the wiser.
Hmm. She sounds very sly then. What makes you think then if she is being so mischievous and secretive, did you think that I would know her?
I don't think you would know where she is, but granted, considering I don't know much at all about her,
Hmm. Well, that's fair.
seems like the kind of woman who would get into not trouble as flashy as somewhere like this, but trouble nonetheless. You seem like the kind of man that would know about it.
I know many things, and the things that I don't know, I can find out certainly. Um, you know, all this conversation, and I still don't know your name, good sir.
Well, I'll introduce myself. Like a Calamity's Act.
Pleasure to meet you, Palamides. And he kind of leans forward and holds out his hand.
All right, handshake it is.
Uh, okay, yeah. So he shakes your hand. Yeah. He says, "Pleasure to meet you," and he motions to the rest of your friends, and he goes, "Who are your compatriots?"
I'm just gonna wave to. I'm sure they can introduce themselves.
Ah, my name is Branch. I do parties, weddings, get-togethers, everything in between and out of
If
the
you hire
box.
Branch for any of those things, I think you'll be sorely disappointed.
Uh, Not for the reasons that you would think, though. For this,
He goes, well, perhaps I can use a man like you someday. I think I know what you mean, Branch. And he kind of winks to you.
uh, see, this guy gets it.
Kind of, he looks to Arnok and Camilla.
I'm not gonna make anybody introduce themselves. So
I am Arnok. That's about all.
fair.
He
I
goes,
don't do
"Well,
parties. I don't do weddings.
probably for the best." And he kind of looks you up and down and he goes, huh, "You are quite large. I'm sure that you do not do well at either of those events."
I do good as a door.
Ah, yes, you very well might. Yes. Um, and the little one?
What is the most valuable thing in our immediate view? Like, just looks the shiniest and most valuable. Doesn't have to
Uh,
be the most valuable, but
so what probably looks the most valuable and shiny right in front of you guys is on the table, the card table in front of you guys. There is a pile of like coins, but there is I'll say a platinum ring with several diamonds in it.
Camilla is just staring at that ring,
Okay.
absolutely lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce, staring at the ring. He follows her eyes to the ring and plucks it from it, and he goes, "Ah, I see you have the taste in the finer things, young one."
Camilla
And he kind of
droops a little.
does a sleight of hand. I mean, trying to roll for it, but Taffy's in the way. Taffy, I love you, but my God, we rolled the same number. Okay, so if you guys want to try and catch what he does with it, but he just kind of uses a sleight of hand to make the ring disappear in his palm.
I'm gonna be like, could I briefly see
Are
that?
you gonna do anything?
Don't
You're just
worry,
gonna
I
let it disappear. You're like, okay, whatever,
never
cool.
be. It's gonna be like, could I briefly hold that or hold that? Like, don't worry, I'm not.
Calamities, I see you talking, but nothing.
It's not coming through.
I hear him.
I hear him.
What?
Oh, oh my gosh.
Concerning.
Sorry. Taffy hit the mute button, so I couldn't hear anybody. I'm like, I see voices and I hear nothing. That's not good. So, okay. So, yeah, if you
uh,
guys want to roll, if you guys didn't roll already,
sure. What is that?
perception.
Perception.
Yeah, just to catch
Gotcha.
it.
Perception. Okay.
22.
16.
And I'm assuming Camilla will roll too.
Yeah. Let me. Camilla gets a 24. So.
Dang. All right. So it's a cool trick. Like he fumbles it slightly. Like it's good, but it's not perfect.
Sure.
He rolled double sixes for it. So he got a
Wow.
16 exactly.
That's so
Um,
funny.
he just kind of makes it disappear down his sleeve and then makes it reappear and kind of flips it for a moment, and then it ends up on one of his fingers. And he leans forward and he goes, "Would you perhaps like to earn this?"
I assume Camilla would immediately be like, "How?"
Okay. He kind of pulls his hand away for a moment and he goes, "Well, nothing is free in the world, as you may have heard. You know, do a task for me, I do a task for you. This information you're looking for, this woman, um, I can look for her, but it'll cost you. I have an associate of mine." And he kind of glances at the man he lost the card, sitting next to you, looking dejected, who lost the game, and who was recently an associate of this man here that has gone missing. And I would be terribly, terribly sad to find out that something wrong has happened with him. So if you can locate him and bring him to me, it would be worth your while. It'd be worth this information, I think.
Sure, sure. But first things first. I'm gonna take my coin out
Mhm.
and not like flash it like, oh, this is such a super magic coin. I'm just gonna be like, I do think maybe I have like a pointer or two I could give you on your,
He goes, "Oh,
shall we say, party trick there.
okay." He goes, "Oh, well, perhaps you can teach me something. That would be a very different conversation, though. and one that would require, he kind of looks around, less prying eyes, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I was just gonna make the coin disappear and try to outdo his little trick and demonstrate.
You can certainly do that if you want. Yeah.
I assume that is a sleight of hand.
It would be a sleight of hand, yes.
Okay. That is a 20. That's all I wanted
He
to do.
he doesn't see it where it goes. He goes, "Ha! That's impressive. I've lost it already."
See, I thought you'd appreciate it.
Yeah, he got a 19, so very close. Not enough. Not enough. And he says, "Well, I see you have it's a very interesting coin, nonetheless. May I see it?"
Hmm. I suppose.
Okay. Do you speak thieves' cant?
Yes.
So
As
he
does Camilla.
said, okay. So he has this conversation as he looks at the coin, and as he's looking over it, like he starts speaking in thieves' cant. So as you know, thieves' cant is you say four words and two of them mean something else, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he strikes up a conversation about the most random thing, like the weather and the plants and how it's such an interesting time of the year. But through that conversation, you and Camilla are both like hearing him, and he goes, "If you're interested in learning or earning one of these earning it for real, or unlocking its powers, perhaps that is something that I can assist with." And he says, "But not here."
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Taffy. What is that?
Alarm bells. I don't know how much I trust a man that can activate the powers of the coin. But I suppose I would communicate that with everybody else at some point, and we will discuss. But not right now. Right now, we must discuss your compatriot that's gone missing.
Very well.
First
Yes.
and foremost, what was his name?
Let me pull up. Taffy. Oh my gosh, take the dice already. No! Other way. Off the table. So that you can. There we go. Good job. Oh my gosh, Taffy. She woke up from her nap and now it's like taffy time every time.
Yeah.
So he says that the associate, was one of four. They went off to do a job and they never came back. When Dale Van, so his name is this, the gentleman you're talking to, his name is Dale Van, so Dalevan. Dale Van got the person sitting next to him, the merchant, and who was there, basically the proprietor, the guy that was paying for the job, whatever the job was, and learned through him that at least one of the four people on the crew um, survived or is alive and hiding somewhere. He says the name of the person is, his name is Thornby. And he's not sure where he went, or the proprietor is not sure exactly where he went. The merchant isn't. But he says that Thornby showed up at his home 2 nights ago, covered in blood and like rambling, before saying, "I can't go back. They're gonna catch me. They're gonna use me. They're using all of us." And then he just kind of ran away um, into the night, and he hasn't been seen since. Dale thinks that perhaps, based on the job that this crew is tasked to do, is that Thornby may be hiding out in the sewers somewhere, which is obviously not a job for Dalevan. It's beneath him, pun intended.
I mean, maybe we could go ask the Lord. He might be down.
Uh,
Seems like right up his alley.
Absolutely. Branch, why don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well. I suppose we have that lead.
So now you have 2 leads,
Mhm.
3 even potentially, because he said he'll talk to you about the coin if you want to learn how to unlock its powers.
He did say he'd talk to us about it. I'm at least curious to hear what he says about it. That is
Yeah,
my
kind of
angle on
same.
this. Yeah. Obviously, I don't want to use the coin because I like my soul how it is.
Well, I mean, it's up to you. You guys can decide what you want.
But
So just a recap for you guys. You guys have Thornby finding the contact.
mhm.
What happened to him? Dale Vaughn has some kind of connection or contact or information, and then you still have the temple. So
Right. Well, do we want to ask to learn more about the coin? Anybody?
I mean, I don't really have any more tails to lose.
Well, we don't have to use it, but it'd be nice to know more about it.
Yeah, agreed.
Whatever we have to pretend to get that information is fine by me.
Okay.
Well, in that case, I am going to, in Thieves Can't, communicate with, our random nonsense conversation that we would love to learn more about the coin.
Okay. Okay. So he smiles and nods, and he says, "Well, then, this is a conversation we should have more privately." He motions to or nods to the dealer, and he goes, "Be sure to take care of this." And he keeps the ring. He puts it onto his pinky finger, kind of flashes it for it. But he tells the dealer to deal with the money and the gems and everything else that's on the table. And goes, "Yes, sir." And he slowly begins picking it up, and as he stands, Dale Van kind of pats the merchant on the back and he goes, "Don't worry, good sir. We'll continue this conversation. Perhaps these friends of yours are new friends of mine. We'll be able to solve your problem and the payments will not be as much. Wouldn't that be wonderful?" And the merchant just kind of goes, "Yeah, great." And then he kind of puts his head in his hands and he goes, "I am so fucked." But then he motions for you to follow him, Delvon. Um, he gets up and walks up to the stairs here. As he does every now and then, like he stops and speaks to somebody, like shakes their hand. "Oh, it's good to see you again. Don't let them change the dice on you." Kind of jokingly, like he's making the rounds while he's walking with you guys. Um, so you guys go to the stairs, and the stairs actually go down, not up. So you guys go down the stairs and find yourselves in a darker, much more like smoke-filled, muggy room.
We're in the high rollers section now.
Not necessarily. Could be listed as the high rollers, but there's definitely a sense of like your rogue sense is kind of tingling. Like this is where the shady shit happens,
Hell
kind of
yeah.
thing.
All right.
Um,
Finally, shady shit.
yeah. All right, so
My
we'll put
element.
him there. As you guys walk down, there is a bouncer that's standing by the door. He looks very strong, just physically, but you're like, we could probably take him. Like,
Yeah, I mean, we could
worried
take a
about
lot of
it.
people at this point. That's fine.
You guys could take just about everyone in the Empire. We're pretty close to it. You guys are pretty fucking buff. Um,
1-on-1 at least.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
okay, so he will motion for you guys through the door. You guys come on through. There's like a maitre d at the like this desk part, and he goes, Welcome, sir. I see you have brought some guests with you today. Shall I have your drink brought to you? He goes, yes, that'd be great. I would appreciate it so much. Just for me, this is a business conversation after all. And he goes, oh, yes, right away, sir. And then he motions for you guys to follow. And as you guys are walking, everyone go ahead and make a perception check.
I'm back.
You're welcome
That was
back.
a 17.
22.
It's a not 20.
Oh, shit.
Camilla, I had you being wowed by the shinies in the casino.
Lots of
That makes
shinies.
sense.
Yeah.
Camilla would love a slot machine.
Yes, there's lots of shinies. Lots of shinies.
24.
Damn,
Oh.
everyone got really high. Okay. So as you guys are walking, first off, you notice that there's a lot of money being played here at some of these tables. Like the two, let's say, I'm pointing to them on my screen, but not pointing them. So this table and this table, there's a lot of money. We're talking they're playing in platinum. There are some gold coins, though, that all of you recognize being the same gold coin that you have being played. At this table here, like the other two tables are playing cards. At this table, it's kind of like the low end table. But what's interesting at this table is you notice that the three people that are sitting in the chairs playing don't seem to be paying too much attention to themselves, like playing. Like they're kind of halfway playing. There's no gold coins being played there, but they do all three kind of nod to Dalvin for it. And he kind of briefly nods to them back, but they just kind of keep an eye on it. They're probably maybe the hired help for the room.
Gotcha.
At the table or at the bar here, there's one person sitting nursing a drink, just kind of laughing and having a good time. There are three people gambling here as well, and everyone's having a good time. But another thing you notice is that through, especially you, Camilla, and Calamities, you can tell that there is a lot of conversation about jobs going on here, about
Makes sense.
big jobs, like robbing mansion level jobs. And you
Oh.
both catch, for a brief moment, word of a crew that failed last night. That only got
I fucking knew it. To catch you up on this, Camilla, this guy offered in Thieves' Cant, so only we understood him to tell us more about how this coin worked and how to unlock its power, and we took him up on it to try to figure out like what he knows, how he's attached to it, that kind of shit. That's why we're down
Okay,
here.
okay.
Okay. So he kind of leads you guys into this kind of private room, and we'll put him here. We'll move the chairs around however you guys want. But he's kind of sitting at the head of the table, and just kind of leans back. The doors are open; they open outward rather than inward, so he can kind of see out into the room beyond. But he leans back in his chair. He motions to you to pull up the coin, Calamities, and he goes, so where did you get it?
Got into a bit of a scrap with a couple of ruffians. Happened to be one of the items we took off of them.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately for that man or woman, I guess, whoever it was, it's their loss now in more ways than one. So,
All right,
I am curious. It's not common to say for someone to find that coin. They are earned, but they do come at a price. And he says to earn one, though, it's one of two ways. One, you complete a job for us. Or two, as you have, you steal one from someone that had one from before. Now, that doesn't bind the coin to you. There are other requirements than that. But if you want to know more, I expect some honesty. Can we agree to that?
I can't say that we're like the industry standard for honesty. We can definitely try our best.
He kind of looks at you, Branch.
That might be the
and
most honest thing I've ever heard Branch say. I'm gonna say to Tailfin.
So he kind of he's sitting in the chair, kind of leaning back, and you hear him watch him as he pulls the contraption, like the part of the crossbow that's missing, and he puts it on the table, and he goes, "This is not a up for debate discussion. Either you are honest with me and I with you, or you're not. And if you're not, well," he kind of points the gun at you, Branch. "I would hate to be on the other end of this." And he points, and you see him pull the trigger, and for a moment, there's this like bright beam of light that just shoots out, and it hits in a miniature explosion of light. We'll say over here, right, pinging right there. You ping it actually instead of point. Ping. As there's like a bottle that's there, and it explodes in radiant energy, radiant burst. The entire room falls entirely silent, and he turns the gun back to you, Branch. Do we have an understanding?
Honesty sounds great.
If we're starting with honesty, I've seen a lot more impressive things in the last few days than that.
I'm sure you have if you've taken one of those coins. But don't let this, and he holds up the gun, detract you from the truth of the matter, as it's more dangerous than you believe. Do we have an agreement?
We have an
Honesty.
agreement. I'm simply saying that I think we are also more dangerous than you would believe, and I don't think either of us wanted to come to that.
Very well. We are in agreement. He puts the gun back, kind of leans back in his chair, and he puts his feet up on the table. He goes, "So, when did you get that coin?"
Last night, right? Was that last night?
It would have been last night, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Very early this morning.
We say it at the same time.
he does kind of smirk at that, and he goes, "Very well." He looks at you, Camilla, and he takes the ring off his finger and he tosses it to you to catch. If you catch it, you can. It's a platinum ring with 3 diamonds in it. Each diamond is worth 500 gold, and the platinum alone is 100.
Sweet Christ.
Absolutely, I'm catching that.
You pull it out of the air, and he goes, "So you, is it safe to assume that you 4 are responsible for the botched robbery last night?"
Oh, was
Or
that your
most
man?
I wouldn't say we're responsible for it.
I would say
However,
we
I
are
will say we were involved in it.
a highly contributing factor.
Probably like 90%.
I understand. Well, it was not my job. No, I'm simply the proprietor of this establishment, as I have mentioned. I am nothing more than that. I am a middleman, as it were. I help facilitate someone who wishes to provide resources to those that will, in turn, gather and take various jobs to gather precious material. As you have seen with the power of that coin.
Yeah, about these coins. I'm sure there's a greater price than simply doing a job for your organization.
Well, doing the job earns you the coin. It doesn't unlock the powers within it. You're right. That takes something else.
A certain amount of alteration to the soul.
Very astute of you. It requires a drop of blood along with a ritual. I do not know the ritual specifically. I personally have not gone through it, and I will not. It is not worth it for me. I have more than enough. But I can get you in contact with the person who does the ritual.
Interesting.
I'm not a stranger to rituals and things as such. So
I will
at this point, I might as well
Branch's
try them
missing
all.
tail. Yeah.
Gotta try them all. Gotta catch
Start
all
my
the
own
rituals.
I'm just gonna point out that Branch
fantasy
doesn't have a
Yelp
tail.
for rituals.
Fantasy bingo ritual style. There you
Right.
Yeah, this is a 3 out of 10. Lost my tail. A lot faster now, though.
go. He is impressed by that. What was your question, Flemings?
I was just gonna point out Branch's missing tail when he
Oh,
was talking about it. Yeah, so
okay.
it's all good.
Perfect. It worked out then. He is both impressed with that and is kind of amused that you made such a deal. He kind of jokingly says, "Well, then why not take this deal? You seem to enjoy taking deals that are questionable at best."
I think
You're
it would
not.
be worth investigating at the very least.
Well,
Knowledge is power, as they say.
yes. Well, you have a coin for one of you. You would need a coin for each of you. Well, I can provide a coin. You would need to complete a job, and I have offered one. I would say complete the job, and perhaps you'll find who you're looking for. Could be worth your while.
Does this job involve cleaning toilets? I am very, very versed in the world of janitorial duties.
Jesus. He
He
is a
says he
custodial
laughs and
scum.
he says, "No, there will be no janitorial duties other than perhaps cleaning yourselves up after if you have to go into the sewers."
Oh, okay.
So what did he say exactly? That like if we did this job for him, he'd tell us more. Or...
Yeah, so he can get you a coin, do the job, and it might be beneficial to get you the information and get you to find who you're looking for.
Okay, well, I would love to find who's doing these rituals at the very least, so that we could fuck them up. So that seems like a good thing to Calamities.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm game. Why not?
Anyone else?
Yeah, I'm down. We need the information.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, then, so he will tell you that as a sign of good faith, that he will give you a coin for each of you. He does ask that you leave the coin here that you had. Complete the job, the one with the finding Thornby, and he will provide you a coin for each of you and get you in touch with the person that completes the ritual.
Okay.
Fair enough.
He does again insist, like through the conversation, he basically explains that hey, the ritual is part, but there is a requirement of your blood, so you have to give up your blood. Since you are agreeing to this contract or this deal, he does ask where you are staying.
What is
Real
it?
quick.
Your mom's.
Stag or whatever. Did you just say your mom's?
He did. Good job, Camilla. Cha-ching.
Hell yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
All right, Arnak, what was your comment?
Nope, nothing.
Nothing. Your mom one just made it go
Yeah,
away.
yeah, fuck saying the
Yeah.
golden stag. It's your mom's.
Ah.
I'm just gonna let that hang in there for a little while.
He kind
Yeah.
of looks at Camilla for a moment and then laughs, just this big belly laugh. And he looks to you and he goes, "I like you, little one. You've got spunk."
I am busy looking at the ring that I carved on you.
It's so funny. All right, yeah, I'm just
Oh,
gonna be like,
Jesus.
in all seriousness, we're staying at the Golden Stag.
Excellent.
We're up in
Uh,
one of those private suites, so it shouldn't be too hard to get in private contact with us.
How much
Not at
blood do we
all.
have to give for this whole thing? Because I feel like after certain events last night, I might not have a whole lot to give
You'll be
for a
fine,
little bit.
Branch. You'll be fine.
He,
It
Like
was
a
yeah, he
just
says
an
as
pint.
far as he
explosion.
knows, it's just a drop of blood. So
It was
Oh,
just
all
one
right, that's
minor
fine.
explosion, Branch. You'll be fine.
Minor. Hey, who said anything about explosions?
He knows. He knows it was us. What are you?
He knows. He does know. You guys have confirmed with him that you guys stopped the robbery
Of
last
course,
night.
we
That's
didn't
where
say
you
we
got the
blew it up, and
coin.
I didn't say we blew it up. I just said that you lived through one minor explosion.
Yeah. He doesn't seem upset that you guys stopped the robbery. Like
He
it
doesn't
doesn't.
seem like the type that would be.
Yeah.
He's
I
not phased
This
by
is
it.
a sword
I
logic kind of
I
man.
don't know about the word minor explosion. I feel like maybe medium explosion at least.
All
Did
right,
you
all right.
not?
A small, medium explosion.
A
Small.
minor explosion's like a fireball blast. I feel like
It's a little bit bigger than
that
a
was
fireball.
that was a little intense.
A minor explosion the size of a minor explosion.
Huh? Instead of doing like 5d8, it was like 10d8. Okay.
yeah, Branch, you got hit by a minor explosion, the size of a
Okay, you know
moderate
what,
explosion.
guys? I'll show you a minor explosion.
Oh no, I'm excited.
You're gonna fart. What's what's
And yeah,
happening?
branch farts.
Rips one. Oh my god. At least he ripped one here instead of, in the I don't know.
Visual
You know,
Oh,
hands.
yeah.
Virgil,
Virgil
whatever.
turd.
Yeah.
Yeah, Virgil. Yeah, Virgil Dick, more like.
Oh, that's great, Camilla. A large boulder, the size of a small boulder.
It's so funny. I love that. I love that post so much.
Oh, just perfect timing.
Oh wow.
Uh,
All right. Well, so as you guys agreed to do this contract, he reaches across the table to shake your hand.
okay, I'll shake his hand. I do have another question for him, actually.
Ask away.
Say, hypothetically, in the future, somebody were to stumble across a large sum of money, and say, hypothetically, a Lord Virgil Hand had requested knowledge of its location if one were to find it, and hypothetically, one really doesn't like Lord Virgil Hand and
Visual
thinks he's
hand.
Visual Hand, whatever. I'm calling him Virgil Hand this whole conversation because fuck this guy.
Virgin hand.
That's his new name.
Virgin Hand, yes.
Virgin. Oh my god.
Virgin hand.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
god.
So yeah, hypothetically, one really doesn't like him, and who perhaps should that information go to in such a hypothetical event in the future?
I mean, in the right hands, that information would be valuable indeed. In this hypothetical situation, hypothetically, such information could be a good incentive on my part to provide you with resources or other such necessary things that you might not have of your own. Be a good hypothetical business partnership with us, if you know what I mean.
This feels very much like the Temple of Sylvanas. It's going to be the third option here to give money to. But, alright, good to know that he'll take the money too if we come across it. Because fuck Lord Virgin Hand.
Then he wouldn't be Lord Virgin Hand anymore, all right?
Ah, shit,
Yeah,
you're right.
true.
Damn, we can't even do that. What a buzzkill.
Sorry, I'm pointing out the obvious. Just saying.
Just saying.
I mean, maybe his hand's the virgin.
Maybe. Maybe. Well, anything
Okay.
else?
That's all I have for him.
Okay. Well, then he gives you some information about where the job was done and where the merchant's house was that he was talking to. And he says, see what you can find. He's like, I'm assuming that this man Thornby, has gone underground, quite literally into the sewers. He says there's no time requirement on this job at the moment. I just wish to know, sooner rather than later.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
With that, you guys can stay for a drink, or you are welcome to leave. But yeah,
I feel like we got places to go, people to investigate.
Yeah, I'll take
Okay.
a drink for the road.
We need to go to
Okay.
the temple.
Yeah, I was gonna say, might as well hit up the temple. Fuck it, we're out here. We're
okay.
out here asking questions.
You bounce after asking questions. Feeling definitely feeling good. You got some good information. Um, like you guys walk away from the bar, you can see the smoke. There's like a smoking crater where the blast had hit. You're like, okay, probably pretty glad I didn't get hit by that, but I could do worse, kind of
Yeah,
vibe.
well, it wouldn't feel great, but the last few days we've been hit by a lot of things that don't feel great. So.
That's so true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But so while you guys have had this conversation, the entire room has been pretty much silent. But as soon as you guys shake hands, get up, everything seems to be on the up and up. Everyone kind of goes back to what they were doing before, and they just kind of as you leave, everyone does kind of watch you leave, like corner of their eye watching you. But as you guys get to the door where the maitre d' is and start walking towards the door and out, you hear Delvon go, "Well, are you not here to gamble? Gamble already!" He kind of laughs and he kind of starts following behind you guys, and everyone kind of goes back to their business.
Are you not entertained?
Exactly. Okay, yeah. So he goes back upstairs with you guys right behind you guys. You guys leave. As you guys are leaving the den, you see him kind of going back around to that jovial conversation with people. I would say the impression, like even if you players didn't get the impression, the characters got the impression that he's definitely powerful in a way, but he's definitely got his thumb on the underworld too. Like people talked about how all the shady deals or something shady was happening. It was happening here. You're dead confident and positive that's true.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Sure,
100%.
he's got money in a casino, but the big thing is he has definitely a prodigious network of thieves and scoundrels. So
Absolutely. Nothing ever leads back to him. That's the way it should be.
precisely.
And that's what's important.
Yep. Okay, so you guys depart the den and head off to the temple.
Yep.
The
Third lead time,
temple.
baby.
There you go. There's the temple. I have all the maps.
Finally, dealing with people on the up and up, maybe.
I mean, for a
I mean, as
thief.
long as they don't choke out Branch, I think we're doing all right.
They choked up Branch, and we're not in this smoky den of sin, although it was certainly nicer than the fucking palace bullshit.
Hey, Camilla got paid.
Yeah, Camilla made a fucking shit ton of money, so
Yeah.
walked out
With
of that
what?
conversation with 1,600 gold in the form of a ring.
Yeah.
Let me just convert that now before I end up with the ring sitting in my inventory for
No,
3
Go
months.
for it.
That's fair.
700 years later.
Yeah.
Oh
I mean,
shit, I'm not broke.
if you guys had like a cleric or somebody had to cast resurrection magic, that would be 3 diamonds of just, hey, bring you back to life.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't have resurrection magic yet.
Precisely.
No, you do not. Not yet.
Yet.
All right. Well, so you ask around town. Doesn't take very long. You guys find the temple of Sylvanas. It's dedicated to the god of nature and regrowth. Fertilization and all of that wonderful jazz. You
Giggity.
guys show up at this temple. It is a large building. Typical. Hey, there's a chapel area, and then there's priests live here. You guys show up, and there's maybe 5 people sitting in the pews, just kind of leaning over praying. Not a whole lot of people. There is one priest that's kind of sitting around talking. And then there's a couple other priests that are sitting over. They kind of walk through one of the doors and go into the back. But there's one priest that's definitely kind of like the guy in charge that's in front. Branch, Camilla. I almost added Frederick. That would have been great.
He's just here waiting for us.
He's like, guys, where have you been? All right, here he is, the covetous priest.
Oops, I meant to click and drag them out.
Oh no.
It's easy to add 5 commoners. All right, so you guys are here. You're at the temple of Sylvanas. What are you doing?
I am going to immediately lie and act like the last time I was here was a couple months ago.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask about Brother Thomlin. What happened to him?
Oh, okay.
Who's this
So
guy?
he you walk up to him. He's this priest. He's in robes, but he is talking to a patron. She's a woman sitting there, and she's like, "Oh, my son loves coming here. He's really taking to it. Maybe he'll take to the cloth and become a priest like you." And he goes, "Oh, well, you're always welcome anyone to the faith. Kamal will take anyone, of course, but Sylvanas will bless your son if he wishes to come this way." She's like, "Oh, that would be wonderful, wonderful. I'll make sure he comes again." And he's like, "Oh, yes, bless you, child." And then you walk up and you're like, "Hey, what happened to Brother Thomley? Is that Thomley? Yeah." And he's like, well, give me one moment." And he says to the woman, and he kind of looks to you, and he goes, "Oh, welcome. Brother Thomley, you knew him?"
Well, he was the priest the last time I came here to pray.
Yes, it has been a while. I'm sorry, child. He unfortunately he passed, and
He
I have come
passed?
to replace him. Yes.
When did he pass?
About 2 months ago, he had a heart condition, I believe, and it was sudden. We're
I
very
want to
saddened
insight
by
the
it.
shit out of this.
Okay.
Same.
It's a
You're gonna
21.
insight him? Okay, go for
Oh
it.
yeah?
Insight.
What about a
Oh
24?
my god.
Holy fuck.
Jesus.
I'm just
Okay.
staring at him super hard.
You guys are
squinting.
feeling very insightful today.
Right? Right? You
No,
haven't
because
even had
not
to use
me.
your inspiration. Okay, so let me pull up this guy's character sheet real quick with the stats. What am I doing? I have a link to it. Oh my gosh.
I would like to point out if we cut this guy in half, his name is Jim.
Oh.
That's true. Or it would just be Jimot the. I mean,
Right.
or Covenant.
Jim for short, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
He'll be a lot shorter after we cut him in half, so.
Yeah.
Or you just take his head.
Damn.
Never needs a friend.
You guys rolled damn high. He's lying about something. So he's not lying about the guy being dead or having a heart
Oh.
problem.
Oh
About
god.
something about that is not entirely accurate, though.
Well, that sounds an awful lot like he is dead. He had a heart problem, but he's not dead because of his heart problem.
I mean, maybe. I don't want to say what happened. You just don't know yet.
Listen, you don't have to tell me what. That's fine. That's just what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, that's definitely the vibe you're getting off of this. He rolled a 20 on his deception.
Ah,
Dang.
sucker.
God damn, so close, so close.
Yeah, we both beat it, Camilla. That's fine.
Not nat 20.
No,
Yeah.
I assume he has a modifier. Okay.
Yeah, well, it was not a nat 20. It was a 20 with its modifier.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay. Hmm.
Which, just for the record, so on a skill check, like 2 competing skill checks. So if he rolled a nat 20, but he had like a +4, and you rolled a 25, you would still beat him. Skill checks
Oh.
don't get
Yeah,
Okay.
skill contests aren't like attack rules where that's an auto win or whatever.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Mostly because that would be really annoying for anybody that wanted to do any sort of PvP thing. Which is not
Yeah.
common, but
And it breaks the game in a sense of like, I'm not a rogue, but I'm gonna do this trap that only rogues will be able to do. Oh, look, I got a nat 20. I have never used this skill before. Cool, I know what to do.
Right.
Like, no, it just doesn't work that way.
It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, sure. If the DC is 30 and you have a -1, a nat 20 is not gonna.
No. Yeah, that's where I would just say you can't. It's impossible for you. I
Precisely.
wouldn't make you roll.
Precisely.
Okay.
Anywho,
Yeah, besides the point.
so we both have that vibe, Camilla. I don't have the charismatic skills to do anything about that vibe, so I leave this in your hands. Since you are already lying about having been here a few months ago while he was alive.
I'm going to ask when the funeral was held.
He says that, and I'm gonna say you can know right away he's lying. But he says, "Oh, the funeral was held a few days after. It was a very private ceremony, just for us priests. There was nothing to the public."
Well, that just it strikes me as strange. You know, because you see, we just talked to one of his close friends, and they didn't even know he was dead.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well,
I'm sure
I
they would have
mean,
asked.
if his friend would like to come, his grave is here. It is in the back. We have a plot set for him. He's welcome to come and say his, you know, grievances, or not grievances, but his condolences. And
Why was the ceremony kept so private?
well, I'm personally
Yes.
not from here, and when I arrived and the rest of us were here, we were informed that he did not have many friends or any friends in the area.
Huh.
Um, Again,
That's
this is very odd. Like if Frederick was here, he'd be
huh.
like, "What the fuck? This is going
Right.
crazy."
This strikes me
Um,
as I've heard the exact opposite and everything I've heard about the man.
uh, so there's two things going on here. One,
Yeah.
you can tell he's lying about the whole friends thing, like they
Of
didn't
course,
think.
yeah.
But also, since he was the lead priest in charge of the temple, they would have probably had a public service,
Right.
so that those that did go to the temple would know and be able to, say their goodbyes.
Precise. Like
Uh,
very weird to be like, oh, it was a private
yeah,
funeral, and it's like for a very public figure.
yeah, he's definitely like skirting the line here on it. Um,
All very much like this is fucking weird.
yeah, and I would say at this point, like you guys are like, this is kind of strange and odd. He's like, well, if you excuse me, I have other patrons here to attend to as well. He's kind of like he's trying to back away. He's getting a bad vibe from you guys. Like you guys are questioning him, and he's not okay with it.
Oh, it sounds like it's time to investigate.
Ah.
I'm gonna wipe away some fake tears to try and make it seem like we're just genuinely concerned.
Roll
That's so
a.
funny.
No, I won't even have you roll because you even if you did your 10, you'd be fine. You'd get above him in his insight. He kind of pats you on the shoulder and he goes, "I'm sorry, child. I wish I had
It's just
more positive things to say." And
it's all
but
just so strange. I'm sorry if we seemed aggressive.
I understand. It's the loss of a friend, of a dear friend, like that can be traumatizing for any. If you do wish to come and see his grave, please schedule some time, and I will be happy to have you or one of the other priests here to show you to you, so you may say your farewells.
Well, if there's anyone free relatively shortly, I think it would really help my friend here.
Can
He
anyone
kind of
speak
like
to the dead? What's Severn got?
No, Severn doesn't have utility spells like that.
no, he doesn't.
Speak to the dead would have been like a Friedrich thing, but alas.
Yeah, I mean, so he's like, okay, like let me see what I can do. Like make a persuasion check on him to try and convince him to find somebody else. Actually, don't even bother. He rolled a 3 to resist you.
That's fucking hilarious.
Don't even bother
These
rolling.
tears are so effective, Camilla. Goddamn.
He's like, no, I'll come back a different day. And the woman next to him is like, but father, it's their friend. Look at her.
You
She's so
hit him.
distraught.
You hit him straight in the dice, Camilla.
Yeah.
Right in the
It's
dice.
like, like he's being overwhelmed of like, okay, I will see if someone's free. He leaves and comes back with another priest a couple minutes later. And the other priest, like Jemad, kind of moves over and goes to speak with the other person, but the priest goes, I understand you wish to see Brother Thummel's grave. You wish to say your farewells. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to put you guys in a line. Doesn't matter the marching order. I just need you guys in a line.
Someone else to question.
Well, it's just a line so I can select all of you at once.
That's
Wah!
Welcome. Ooh,
Magic. Okay, so you guys are led through the back door with the priest. As you walk by, you see to your left, there's like the doorway is propped open a little bit. It looks like a library of some kind. Of course, the courtyard to the right, there's a well there that you can see. As you continue on, you can see that there is to the next room to the left. A priest walks in and then closes the door, and you can see it's just tables with like people are studying in there. There's two priests, including the one that just walked in there. And this priest leads you to the graveyard in the back.
Ironically, where they keep dead people.
yeah,
Ah.
that's crazy.
And he points to the grave, which I will say is this one here. This is Brother Thommel's grave. And he says, I will let you say your farewells, and if you need anything, please.
Beautiful.
One of us will be happy to help you. And he
Didn't
goes
even
back
have to
inside.
ask. Didn't even have to ask for privacy. That's fantastic.
Yeah, you guys are left alone.
I'm
There is a
gonna turn
small
to Camilla
wall.
and be like, so he's bullshitting us, right?
Yeah. So real quick, so the description. So there's the small wall. It's just a stone wall. It goes up about 6 feet, but there are spaced with small little windows in to let some light in.
So
So
if
it's
one
pretty
were to
much a
say
walled off section.
sneak back in here, it's only a 6-foot stone wall to get past.
I
Good
can
to
just
know.
look over the wall. That's fine.
Exactly. It's like good to know. Good to
Not
know.
difficult, yeah.
All right, but yeah, I'm gonna turn to Camilla and be like, so he was bullshitting us that entire time, right?
Oh,
Absolutely.
absolutely full of shit. I mean, as a
Uh,
cleric, I would know that
yeah, no, that's very
a
fair.
prominent priest would have a very public ceremony.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead and make a religion check for me, Arnok. Only you.
Ooh, spicy.
Religion. 19.
Ooh.
Ooh, wow, you guys are getting the high
God
rolls
damn.
today,
We were sitting at the high rollers table all night.
right?
Get Sylvanas on the phone.
Hang on, I got her on speed
Hey,
dial.
Sylvanas, goddess of fate here.
That's Sylvaris. Sylvaris is the goddess of
No,
fate.
I
God
know.
of fate, but
We're representing Sylvaris, two Sylvanas.
so Sylvaris here. Can I talk to Sylvanas, please?
Just patch me through whenever you get the time.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll wait.
Okay, so Arnok, two things on that roll. One, the priest, quote unquote priest that just left, is probably not really a priest of Sylvanas. Something is off. You're not quite sure what. He seemed more like a fighter, like bulky. Like none of the priest can't be bulky, but just the way he held himself, something seems like more like he's used to combat. Um, he seemed to be acting enough like a priest. Perhaps he's studying to be a priest or was at some point, but something just is off, and you cannot quite put your finger on it with him. As in, for the head priest, you're right in that it's shady as shit. Like they would have definitely had a service. But he's like when he talked about Solanus, like you've met other priests, but there was almost a sense that you got from him that he doesn't believe anymore. He's not a true believer anymore.
Mm.
It's something like you've been around priests enough to be like, okay, yeah, this guy's faking it. Like, got that. So that's what you know.
Okay.
All right. So for our own various reasons, we're all like, yeah, these people are bullshit.
Yep. Head priest is not, true believer anymore, and our little escort over here probably isn't actually a priest anyway.
Yeah, and I fully believe that this man did die. I fully believe he had a heart condition. I fully believe he did not die of his heart condition.
I fully believe they murdered him.
That seems very in the realm of possibility from where I'm standing.
I mean, they did say if we have questions, one of them would be available to help us. We could call him out here and ask
Hit him with a little 1-2.
some questions. I mean, I still got that portable RAM. I could find a place to stick it.
Yeah.
I mean, we also have the immovable rod, so.
Oof.
Ooh. Ooh. One in the front, one in the back.
No. Yeah, that stuff ain't coming out anytime soon.
Well,
Oof.
so Arnott kind of reliably identify these people are not really priests. I'd be willing to have our religious boy here bring somebody back.
I mean, that works for me.
Everybody else want to be ready to clock this guy?
Wouldn't be the worst thing I've done.
Although I would
And
like
we
to
can
point
still
out
say that
how
we've never hit a priest.
I would like to point out how phenomenal it is. We go into a temple and the first thing we do is decide to beat up the priests.
Listen, you immediately said they're not
It's
priests.
okay
We're
that
fine.
he's not a priest. We found the loophole.
You found the loophole. The gods will understand.
He's not actually a
Exactly.
priest. He's actually a male stripper.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Well, sometimes you
Alright.
beat people up and you learn a little more than you wanted to know.
Yeah. All right. Have a second. I'm going to pause the map because I'm going to add some NPCs.
Oh boy.
I mean, it doesn't
Okay.
possibly
While you
combat.
do that, I'm gonna go pee real quick.
That's fair. Camilla, get that immovable rod ready. I've got my rope of climbing. You've got the immovable rod. They're never catching us.
They're never going to catch us. Never.
Never.
Nope. Never say never.
April 20th. Fantastic. I'm not busy that weekend. I forgot to run through in my head. I was like, oh, when am I busy? There's a weekend this month that I'm busy. I was like, it's not that one. We're good.
You're busy April 20th?
No, I'm not busy April 20th. That's why I'm happy.
I mean, you should be busy with something else on 420.
Yes, please.
But then I would be worse at playing D&D.
This is true.
Oh, God.
What?
Because I just realized it's going to smell so bad at work.
Oh,
the
yeah,
20th?
you work Sundays, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, 420's on a Sunday.
I'm
It's in 2 weeks. That's why I brought it up, because the sign-up went up for Foo Fighters.
Ah, yes.
out on the floor then, too. I can't even hide in
Oh.
the back.
Oh, Christ.
It already smells like weed every day.
All right, so
Oh.
the map's back. So when you guys are ready.
Ooh, NPCs.
NPCs.
Yes.
Priest.
Whoa.
All right. Is everybody
They
here?
look like angry priests.
Wow. I wonder why.
I mean, they might be angry. They might not.
One of
Could
them's
be.
about to be
You
angry.
never know what god they're priests for, really.
I mean, I'll show you the
It's
pictures that
evil.
I have for them, so you guys can see what it looks like.
Oh, wait, that was Camilla. Whoops. I was moving instead of myself.
All
Moving
right.
Alright,
so
I'm gonna
around.
stand back here.
The first person, Jemont, the head priest, is the guy in the robes here. And the other one with the red, that is the other priests you have seen. That's what they look like.
Wow, that's shady as fuck.
Jimot just kind of screams like I hang out in front of preschools.
Absolutely, dude.
I'm glad the creepy pictures I picked are working.
Oh yeah, this man
100%.
is for
100%.
sure at the center of a cardinal scandal.
Jesus.
He
That's-
didn't make the Epstein
I think I
list.
saw a
He
headline
was
recently
the
about
Epstein
him
list.
dying at 94.
Jeez. God, these priests are gonna be so fucked, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
Maybe it is a good way. You don't know.
Oh, maybe. All right. Well,
I'm standing right here by the door with my rapier out, just back against it,
okay.
ready.
So you guys are gonna take a moment, take your equipment, or you guys, I guess you could take your equipment out beforehand,
Yeah.
because you guys two places you weren't supposed to have weapons, and now you can have weapons. Nobody gives a shit.
That's fair.
Okay. All right. What do you guys do?
Okay, so I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna bring him back, and then we either need to like jump him right away, or I need to like slam him into the wall, and we just need to start beating the crap out of him and then start asking questions.
I think we jump immediately.
Jump immediately.
Yeah, and then maybe like round 2, air quotes, of combat for whatever in world
I
context
mean, I could
that
just
has.
donkey kick him through the door.
Well, that might draw a little more attention. I think we bring him into the graveyard and then just fucking jump his ass.
Close the door and jump him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think maybe we bring him into the graveyard. You sort of like, I don't know, make up some bullshit questions, pull him a little further out. Camilla clicks the immovable rod in front of the door, and then we jump his ass.
Works for me.
Everybody else good with this?
I mean,
Mhm.
yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
All right, I'm gonna go out and gather our new friend.
Okay. So you
Um,
walk out and flag him down. And he comes on over and goes, "Oh yeah, yes. Do you have questions? Have you and your friends been able to say your goodbyes?"
we have, but as none of us are uh, priests of Sylvanas, we would very much like for you to lead us in a traditional Sylvanas blessing to um, ensure that his spirit moves on.
Certainly, I would be happy to accommodate that for you. Are you guys doing like stealthing for the rest of you?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. If you guys are just trying to hide so he doesn't see you, if you guys just want to like hang out in the back, it's fine too. You can just kind of be there until he's ready. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm just kind of gonna press against this wall here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm short enough where you wouldn't be able to see me.
He
All
just
You're going to
crouches
be
in
behind the
Automatically
door.
stealth.
You're going to be behind the door when the door swings in.
it. Yeah, you'll be blocked by the door. You're fine.
Okay.
Your
Well,
job is just to block the door, Camilla.
his
Priority number
perception is not going to be probably high enough to notice.
And
So
my stealth is at minimum 21, and I think Camilla's is 18. So
okay, yeah, he's distracted enough by Arnok. So Arnok, put him in you where you want to be.
Right there.
Are you gonna kick him through the door?
Well,
Like,
I'm going to let him open the door, and then I'm just going to kind of give him a shove,
okay,
step right in behind him, and close the door.
okay, okay. So you shove him, and he goes, "Hey, what's that?" And he shouts it. You guys are lucky sons of bitches. You guys close the door, and there's the commotion gets muffled. But he turns and looks at you like, "What the hell was that for? I thought you wanted to like, what's your problem?" He's talking pretty loud at this point, but what's your plan? He sees he sees you, Arnok. He's kind of focused on you at the moment.
I'm just gonna immediately go to like knock this guy out with my rapier.
Okay,
Uh,
you're gonna make an attack.
I'm absolutely going for it.
Okay, so I want everyone to roll initiative will be in the combat for this. So real quick, before we roll initiative, let me add all the monsters.
I was on a 19 and it rolled to a 9. That's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, that happened to me earlier too. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Add all tokens. Gonna remove the commoners. Okay. Well, so it's a surprise round. Okay. So surprise round. Going top of the round, it would be Camilla.
My action is just going to be to put the immovable rod up to block the door.
Okay. Let me rename this guy. Okay. You block the door. No problem. Okay, so the next person would be Calamities.
Yeah, I'm gonna flank this dude.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna swing on a motherfucker.
Swing away.
I will. I don't remember if inspiration works before or after you know the result of the dice roll.
So you know the result you got, but I haven't told you if it hits or misses.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't remember when
So you would
inspiration
do it
goes in the order of that.
before.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I'm
guess.
gonna re-roll that in that one.
Okay.
Okay, so that would come out to be what the fuck is that? 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
Sweet. Da-la-la. That is a 12 plus. Oh, that's fucking good. 22, and then I have a little extra from. I said 32.
32
No,
in total.
there's one other thing here. It's assassinate. There we go. It's 39 in total.
39 in total. Holy shit.
Hopefully,
Okay.
Broski has enough health.
He is still alive, yes.
Okay. I was like, as long as it's not like double his total, which I doubt.
No. Okay. Anything else?
That's a great question, considering I still have a bonus action. The fuck am I gonna use that on?
I mean, he's not bloodied.
What do I want to use a bonus action
We're
I can
fighting
do
war priests.
Fine. Oh, can I? Hot diggity, where the fuck is my basic poison?
You gonna put some poison on?
Yeah, I'm gonna use my bonus action to. Oh wait, that only lasts for a minute. Never mind. I don't know when the next time I'm gonna be shooting things with my arrows is. Oh shit. I guess I'll just hang out here because I don't really care to dash, disengage, or hide.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm vibing.
All right. Well, that brings it to Branch's turn.
Really?
Yeah, it's surprise round, so nobody gets to go but you guys.
Oh. I rolled a nat 1, so I just thought I would be the last out of all of us still. But I guess having plus 10 to my initiative.
Oh, so I probably did the initiative wrong because I think if you rolled before I started it, it may not have added it. So
Oh, gotcha.
see if I can change this. It won't let me change the initiative. Why not?
Game
All right,
night.
Branch, you just get to be an 11 instead.
All right. Fair enough.
And you just did your
All
average.
right.
Arnock, you're 10. I don't know if you rolled a 10 or not.
I rolled a 9 plus 1.
Plus 1, so
So,
yeah,
yeah.
So
10.
10. Okay.
Looks like Branch
So
rolled
then
better.
everyone else is going to be right except for Branch. But that's fine. So, Branch, you're still first.
I mean, that's normal. Everyone's right but Branch.
Yeah.
Ah,
Hardy har har.
make fun of the tailless cat. How original.
How original.
All right. I'm just gonna come around. Let's see. Not trying to kill the guy.
Yeah, you
Maybe.
can. As long as you're going melee, you can be like my melee attacks non-lethal.
Yeah, if you want to do non-lethal, it's fine.
Non-lethal. Like weapon attack too?
Yep. You can just
Non-lethal?
smack him
Oh,
with the butt
okay.
of your rapier or whatever the fuck. And do
You
the same
just
melee.
make your attacks like normal.
All
Once you
right,
tell me it's
cool.
non-lethal.
I'm gonna use my dagger. That feels less lethal than a sword.
Okay.
That's a 20 to hit, not natural.
One he will hit for sure.
Uh,
He's in priestly robes. He doesn't have that much of it, I say.
It's 10 damage.
Okay, he's still kicking.
Okay, I need that to stop. I'm gonna attack him again with my knife. 17 to hit.
17 will hit.
Okay. That's 7 damage.
Okay.
And
He is
then I'm gonna
still up.
wait, bonus action. I'm gonna attack him with this measly short sword I got in here. No special sword for him. Fortunately. That's a 26 to hit.
Oh yeah, that definitely hits.
Okay, and then 10 more damage.
Okay.
So
He's still alive.
total
Still kicking.
27 damage, I think, total.
Yeah. He's bloodied
Yeah.
now, but he is still up.
Okay. Okay. Nothing personal, dude. Just business.
All right. Well, unless you got anything else, it'll be Arnok's turn.
No, that's all.
All right, Arnok, you're up.
So he's bloodied at this point, right?
He's bloodied.
All right.
I mean, you guys just did like 68 damage.
Yeah.
Plenty.
Yeah. I'm gonna I'll just look at him and say, who are you, and what did you do to the former priests?
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay. That would technically bring it to the end of the surprise round. So that would bring it to Camilla, because now we're out of the
Hey.
surprise round. So it'd be Camilla, Calamities, if you guys want to do anything.
Oh,
Because it's not the
Believe in
priest's
you.
turn. He
I
doesn't
will.
go until after Arnok.
I will.
So the four of you get to act.
I guess non-lethal with my rapier.
Okay.
Does a 14 hit?
14 hits.
Whoops, I double-clicked that. 7 damage.
You also have your sneak attack.
He is unconscious.
That works too.
No.
Now he can't make noise.
Yes,
can
but now
bind
we
him
can't
up.
ask him questions.
Yeah, except he was probably just gonna scream anyways. So we gotta take him somewhere else and bind him up.
See, that's why you get paid the big bucks. I'd have just beaten it out of him.
Yes. Okay, so he's unconscious. You guys are. Let me roll. Nope, doesn't matter.
Beautiful.
We had disadvantage, and they didn't hear you guys.
Beautiful.
So yeah, so we're out of combat. Nobody else heard you.
Where would be a good place to take this guy be? Because we can just hop the wall and get the fuck out of here.
Can we just open one of the graves and like kind of throw him in it?
I
They
mean,
might hear him
technically,
in there still.
these like these are graves that are dug into the ground, so that I mean, you want to lift the
Put it up.
stone off the ground, which I'm sure Arnok could do.
I mean,
Hmm.
do we want to take him back with us, or do we want to take him out of here and go ask him questions, or do we
I think
want
we
to go
want to
beat
take
up
him out of
Timo?
here and go ask him questions. Let's go find somewhere nice and isolated. We can just hop this wall and carry him over.
The wall is like twice as tall as any of you. Wouldn't hop this
What are you
wall.
talking about? I'm like 5'9".
Wait, hold on. You act like I don't have potions of climbing in my inventory.
Branch is also not that short. Camilla is only like 3 feet tall.
Well, I think I'm like 2 feet tall.
I think you're like barely 3. Maybe you might be like 2.5. I don't know. You're tiny.
You
We
are
are
short.
human sized.
You're all tiny.
Arnok is
Yeah, I'm
tall.
2'3".
Yeah, you're like to everybody's knees.
Yeah, you're fine. Arnok can lift you up and over. You weigh like nothing. You're 2'3".
Pretty sure my portable ram weighs more.
Yeah, I'm
Probably,
26
yeah.
pounds.
Portal Ram's probably
I-
bigger than she is.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're 26 pounds, I think the portable ram might be.
Portable ram is 35.
Yep.
Camilla's not even that heavy, soaking wet.
Exactly. Anywho, all right. So let's start carrying this guy off. I guess. I
You
should
mean
probably
just huck
tie
him
him
over
up
the
and
wall?
gag him first.
Yeah, okay, so we'll say you guys tie him up. You gag him. Everyone, go ahead and make a climb check. The climb check is a 10.
Sure. What am I rolling for climbing?
Just be athletics.
Okay. Yeah, I can try my best.
Oh my god, I died.
I will pick up Camilla and put her on top of the wall.
I was
I
gonna
was gonna say
say.
you have advantage, is what I was
Oh.
going to, because
Oh,
you guys can help
crap.
each other. It's a 6-foot wall.
Well, with advantage, that's still a 6 from me, so that's fine.
Okay,
I die again.
I have
you-
noodle arms, and Camilla also only got a 4.
Yeah, so Camilla, you're like scrambling against the wall and can't do it. And then Palamedes is like, I'll help you do it. And then he falls over.
I'm just gonna pick up Camilla and set her on top of the wall.
That
Okay,
sounds good.
Camilla, you are 6 feet up in the air and you feel tall as fuck.
That sounds good.
Heck yeah. This is great.
You're like Loki sitting on his.
Okay, so our priest is all tied up, right?
Yep.
Yeah. he
Okay,
should be
I'm just gonna
tight
yeet
gag.
him over the wall.
Oof.
Fair.
Okay. Make a strength check. It's just a straight strength check. It's going to be a 10 for your DC.
23.
Oh my god.
You yeet him into orbit.
Oh god, he's gonna die.
Maybe we don't eat
You don't
him
yeet him
high.
into orbit. You throw him, like you toss him over, kind of roll him over, no problem. Like not an issue. You're like Camilla. You like see this body, this priest. He's tied up.
Fun.
Just roll over the top and just thump, and you hear him grunt, and you're like, "Ooh, a stepping stool!" And you jump down on top of him.
Oh my god.
You don't kill him or anything. You're not heavy enough to do that.
Yeah, that's
But it's like having
funny.
a cat jump on you. You know, just
Exactly.
like, oh
Oh, so I do kill him.
fuck. Pretty close then. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
They're
That's
so
good.
heavy when they want to be.
That'll
They
be 4
are.
bludgeoning damage.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So Arnok, I'm not even gonna have you roll to get over the wall because you are tall
Did
enough.
we want to look at the priest's grave? It's just a stone with a hole, right?
Oh, that's a great question before you go over the. Yeah, I mean.
Okay,
If you
I'll
wanna
lift up
lift
the.
that
I'll
up.
pry the stone up and get my fingers under there and try and lift it.
So roll a strength check. If everyone's helping
18.
you, you can have 18's not
Yeah,
high enough.
I
If
would
people help
probably
you, you have
not.
advantage.
Yeah. You can take the advantage. I'm still here. I can help.
Okay.
Not much, but I can help.
Nope. 18 is going to be it.
That's
Nope.
fair.
You just can't get enough leverage for it.
Damn.
Anyone got a crowbar?
Let me check. Let me flip through my tools.
Let me see.
Absolutely, we do. I have a crowbar.
I do have a crowbar, yes.
Group of thieves. I mean, how do we not have a crowbar?
Yeah, I was just making sure I didn't leave it somewhere. Yeah, I do have a crowbar on my person.
Oh, guys, I have a grappling hook.
I
You
also
have a
have a rope
grappling hook
climbing,
over the
so
6-foot wall. I love it.
we can have the rope of climbing over the 6-foot wall too.
There's that thing. Okay,
Anywho, yeah, I'm gonna pull up.
so go ahead and roll a strength check again. You have advantage.
Okay. Okay, with advantage.
Mhm.
That's not good.
Son of a bitch!
You needed
wait, the
15.
immovable
The first
rod is
DC
still
was a
blocking the door.
20. The
The
second
rod
was
is
a
still blocking the door.
15.
I'll bring it
You
back
know
to
what? You know what? I'm going to use inspiration.
Oh,
Okay.
Use the
come on.
immovable rod
Come
to
on.
hold it.
Above the 10. Well, we have to. Oh, I guess if we could.
Do I get to roll that with advantage again?
You just roll once, is what the
Just
Yeah, the
inspiration.
inspiration, you just replace one of the die.
Straight die. Okay, that'll work. 23.
Thank God.
23. You manage to feel the inspiration of the gods. You pry open lift the piece up. So you hold it up, and there's like it's a hole in the wall on the ground, like a cement burial tomb, and then inside there's a wooden casket. You can easily bend down and flip up the lid of the casket. It's not nailed down or anything like that.
For sure. Okay.
Like the ground underneath the casket is dirt, so it's just the cement walls. Like the body's meant to be here and to decompose.
Yeah.
You flip it open and you see there's a priest guy in there. It's human. He's decomposing. But there's definitely like his clothes and his chest cavity are kind of sunken in. Not
Can I
normal.
check that out?
Make a medicine check.
Oh, I'll try. I'm not gonna do well. Here's what I'm gonna do instead, because I assume an 8 is shit. So presuming that that's poopy, I would like to take the immovable rod from the door and like prop the lid up with it.
Because lid heavy.
Okay,
Just lid
yeah,
heavy.
you can totally do that.
And then
I
I
mean,
would
the
like to
immovable
have
rod you
Arnok.
literally can hold like 3,000, like 30,000 pounds or something like that. You literally
Precisely. I just
hold
want
it
to
up in
free
the air,
Arnok
click the
up
button, and it's
to
stationary.
look at him.
Yeah. Okay. So it's stationary. Yeah.
Yeah.
The medicine check you did you can't tell. He's dead. That's all you can tell.
I'm gonna be like, hey Arnok, that seems weird. You wanna?
Our chest's supposed to do that.
Did I just do that?
My medicine check ain't gonna be a lot better than yours. It's only +2 there, bud.
Yeah, well, mine's also only +2. Let's see if you can roll any better. If not, I'll
All
bring
right.
people back over the wall.
That's super not better.
Like he's dead, I think,
And I'd
maybe.
be like, yeah, I guess just do that. Hey, Branch and Camilla, and I'm gonna like sort of, I'm gonna have the rope of climbing. Let's see here. Go up
Okay.
and
Well,
over the
you do
wall.
have inspiration too, Snifty. So if you want to
I
roll
already used it
Oh,
to
you already
on this
okay.
guy. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
I'm
If
just gonna call them over. I'll use the rope of climbing to, help Camilla come back over the wall.
okay.
So I'll go ahead and Camilla, you gonna check this out first?
Yeah.
I will
Okay,
go
Camilla,
out.
if
I
you
will
guys are
reach
gonna
over
help
and
each
touch
other,
her head. I will touch her head and give her guidance.
okay, there you
What does
go.
guidance do?
You
Plus
get a
1d4.
1d4 to your next skill check.
Oh, I got a
Ooh.
nat 20.
Nat
Ooh.
20. You, Camilla,
Plus-
you look at the body and go,
plus
"That's not
D4.
natural."
You're like,
Um,
wait, bodies don't
Yeah,
just
it's a
do that.
natural 20.
So Camilla, it looks like somebody pulled some Indiana Jones shit and ripped this guy's heart out of his chest.
Ooh.
Oh.
What?
So he had a heart problem. The problem was
Oh,
his
he
heart
just-
was no longer
Yeah,
existing.
his problem
my
was that he
God.
doesn't have one.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like
was
you
telling
look
the
at
truth.
it and it looks like the hole is big enough for a hand, and it's
Oh.
like somebody reached in and ripped his heart out.
I'm no
you,
doctor,
you can
guys.
tell his heart is missing from the body. Like
Yeah, I'm gonna share this information.
Dumb. And then Branch will say whatever he was gonna say.
Oh, I was just joking.
Okay.
My official
want to use-
diagnosis is he's missing his heart.
Damn, that's rough.
That is
all right,
rough.
while you guys doing that, decide what to do next. I'm gonna go to the
You
bathroom
could say
quick.
he was heartless.
Well, I might be able to throw a religion check to see if if I can figure out why they would have taken his heart.
That would be
Ooh.
cool.
I mean, maybe someone just needed a snack.
Fair. Anybody else like proficient in religion outside of?
I have a
I'm
+1.
proficient is a strong word.
Do you have
Okay.
proficiency?
I don't have proficiency.
I have a +1.
Okay, I also have a +1.
I have +2.
Whoa, whoa.
The
I am,
paladin without
like,
proficiency
the
in
worst
religion is
cleric
very funny.
ever.
Yeah,
Worst
yeah,
cleric ever. Just
it's
saying.
hilarious.
An agnostic cleric.
This cleric didn't
I
study.
recognize
in
you,
school.
gods, and I decline to answer.
They're just like, I don't give a shit about that. I just wanted this rad divine magic.
Oh, that was funny. This is going to go real poorly for this priest. Just throwing that out there.
Oh, he's gonna have an awful time.
All right, I am back. What is
Okay,
this awful time?
so I would like to see if I can use a religion check to see if I could determine why they would want to remove his heart, other than the obvious reason of, hey, it kills him.
Roll a religion check.
Oh, 21.
Whoa!
Oh shit!
Damn.
Okay, so you have learned of the cult of Mammon through the rest of the party. They are
Hell yeah.
Mammon is a devil for it, so he's in the nine hells. He's the devil of wealth. So far, none of the rituals they have done that you have witnessed, or that anybody in the party has witnessed, has had to do with mutilation of any kind. It's all been about wealth or money. You know that there are some rituals that cults have that require some kind of blood or sacrifice of some kind. You're pretty confident that if these priests are at this point probably related to the cult in some way, based on now that the heart's missing, that they probably used him as a ritual and they took his heart. It would fit also with the blood that was needed for the coins. So they
Ritual
probably
sacrifice.
Yeah, they used him as a sacrifice for something. You're not sure what. It could be anything. There's dozens of things that could be your ritual. It could be, hey, we just wanted to kill him. We needed his heart for something specific. It was a ritual we were doing, and to honor the powers that be, we had to kill somebody, and he just happened to be it. It's impossible to know exactly the ritual. It's just too many.
To honor our evil overlord, Steve Jobs.
What, Steve
I'm
Jobs?
glad I only lost a tail and not a heart.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
that would have been. Then you would have been heartless.
All right, well.
Okay, so I'll relay this information to the group that, it's a Mammon ritual, blah blah blah. Probably has something to do with the coins.
Yes, you do.
So, do we off the rest of these guys and then move on, or, I mean, we could still use some questions answered.
We could still use some questions answered. Probably better to ask the questions and determine our course of action from there. I mean, it's not like they're gonna know what we did to the priest. Like, for all I know, they could just assume that dipshit McFaker over here went home earlier.
I mean,
Mammon killed his ass. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
So we'll be back. I don't think they have
Okay.
any reason to disbelieve us.
Okay, so back up over the wall.
Back up over the wall. The rope
Back
is
up
in
over the
place,
wall.
so
If you're using the rope, you don't have to roll anything. You make it over the wall just fine.
That was a struggle the first time.
It really was. Okay, so over the wall, and we will end the night there with you guys trying to find some place to go and question this guy.
Hell yeah.
But that is where we will end. Good
If
job,
we can
guys.
get him back to the den, I bet he won't ask questions.
You never know.
That's true, unless he's already working with the cult. So
I mean,
we'll find.
He also might have some really nice things that we could stick in this guy.
Yeah. We'll probably want to keep the interrogation to ourselves for now.
Probably.
No outside influence.
We'll just take him back to the room.
Good lord, the rope of climbing can also hold up to 3,000 pounds.
Magical shit
we'll,
can do all kinds.
We'll take him back
God,
to the
like
room.
green. That's wild.
And cut off body parts and stick them in the toilet.
Oh god! Oh god!
Oh Jesus! What if we give him a swirly in the toilet? We'll just take his head and his whole body.
I mean, that's a fair question. If you put something that is still attached,
if you shove his face in the toilet.
So
that's
you
a
guys
legit
know
question.
for the toilet that if you put your physical body, something that's living, in there, it won't do anything. That's how
Okay.
Calamity reach down and grab the coin.
Oh,
It
yeah,
also
okay.
won't do anything against
That's true.
So
like
if we
metal
do
objects.
have to dispose of him,
Make sure he's not living. Yeah.
Wait, so you're saying,
well,
yeah, perfect.
I mean, if we're disposing of him, he's probably not going to be alive anyway.
Exactly.
You also have
So,
no idea where the stuff goes.
yeah, that's a great question.
That's
Oh
fair.
my god, we
point.
could send Severin to figure it out.
Oh,
He's
God.
not
Oh my
alive.
that also
God.
might not be a
Poor
good
That's like an
idea.
Severin.
awful idea.
I'm now picturing this miniature nuke going off. Severin, go in there, and then someplace in the city, boom! From all the meth.
You're like, hey, Severin, we're gonna put you in the toilet now, and the bag is just writhing. Like, God damn it! Why do I stay with you fuckers?
Because you're stuck in
Exactly.
the bag.
Because you guys give me good magic shit. That's why.
Exactly. Every now and again,
He
we're like, hey,
does.
Severin, here's something. And
He
he's just
has
like, oh,
awesome
hey.
magic shit.
He's so fucking beefy.
He is.
He really is.
Yeah.
We're gonna be fighting Allura, and it's just gonna be like, Severin, go! And Severin's gonna be like, I whip out the Archmage's necklace or whatever. And Allura's gonna be like, what the fuck?
Just plow through her.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Oh
throw him
man.
again like a bowling ball.
Turn him into a bowling ball.
Oh, Jesus.
He's already been
Yeah.
a softball. He's
Yeah,
already
this
been a
is,
grenade.
This is a wild night of
True.
interacting with people.
Yes. You've gotten the spectrum. You've gotten the spectrum.
We have gotten the spectrum. Nobody nice. Nobody nice at all.
I mean, Tailbone was pretty nice. He's a business.
Okay, yeah, a dickhead, a thief that is nice for now, but would be not so nice in plenty of other scenarios, and murdery cult fake priests.
I mean, you
Oh,
are
but if we
looking
do
into
need,
a cult.
if
When
we do
Dalevon is the
need,
nicest guy we talked to today, it says something about the day in general.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. But if we do need a sacrifice to empower these coins, we now have one.
Oh my god.
Mm.
I don't know if we want to go that route.
I mean, why not?
You don't know how they work. You don't know the requirements.
Yeah, we'll learn. We'll
You
learn.
will learn. You will find out, though.
These
Exactly.
priests are full of shit.
Worst cleric ever.
You guys had some fucking high ass rolls. Like,
Bro.
We were talking while you were gone about that religion check. And I was like, is anybody else proficient in religion? And then Arnok was like, about that.
like Jesus.
My whole +2 to religion. A
The
cleric
highest
that's
of the
not
party.
proficient in religion.
I mean, I gave it to you because you are a cleric. Like,
I know.
Oh, that's so funny.
Jesus.
Oh,
Jesus.
God.
Oh my God. Well, damn good job, guys. Damn good job.